Hello, everyone. We're here again, and it's episode 91, which is great. And here he is, Delboy.
Hello.
Welcome, as usual. Thank you so much for being here again, as we are every week. You know, nothing changes with us. Yeah, we're we're here every week.
Yeah, we're here.
So, I always ask this question, and you know what? We've already done a little bit of talking, but I'll pretend I don't know
Yeah.
what you've told me. So, what have you been watching this week?
I'd like to say I've been watching a lot, but I have been watching quite a bit. But it's mostly been YouTube stuff because I've been actually not feeling very well. Actually, it was Saturday night that I felt really rough, and I don't know if it noticed in my blog, but I started to get tired towards the end of my blog again.
Yeah,
And it's lasted until pretty much today. It's sort of like a fatigue type bug. I've been feeling a bit nasally and all of this. But I did a few lives, but
that's good.
as well, which takes
Yeah.
me away from watching things. But what have I watched? Well, I tell you what, I watched an action thing on TV last night, and I've never even heard of it. It was called a Final Score. It was a crap film. Don't get me wrong,
Yeah.
crap film. Final Score. It had Pierce Brosnan in. It was all about terrorists taking over a football game with West Ham playing at their last
I was going to
ground.
make a football joke then. And it is about football.
Right, Final
Yeah.
Score. And it's about
Yeah.
terrorists taking over the West Ham grounds on their last
Right.
game in a sort of a European thing. And there's this sort of soldier that's visiting his friend's family because he lost his friend in a war. So
Yeah.
he's protected of them, and he comes over and he says hello, and he classes himself as uncle and all of this sort of thing. Takes the kiddie to the West Ham game, and there's a bloody great big Russian political thing going on. It's a popcorn film that you can sort of like shut your brain off to and just go. It's got a few funny moments, but to be quite honest, it's the biggest load of pants you've ever seen in your life. But most of my watching has been historical stuff. To be quite honest. For some unknown reason, and this happens an awful lot, something will crop up on YouTube that interests me, like all the presidents in America explained in 33 minutes or something, right? And it'll go through all the histories and all of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was looking at what about London. It said the history of London from 88 AD till present, or whatever it was, right? And it went through Boadicea and everything, right? It went, all the way up, and they did one for Paris, like and Venice. How did they build Venice on water and all of this sort of stuff, which intrigues me because I always think to myself, what's under that water, right? What's hidden under Venice, right? Because it's built on water, right? It really is, and it's made of wood. But it's been in the mud so much that the wood has perished. It's petrified. It's turned to concrete because that's what happens. Over years and centuries. So that explains why it hasn't sank. But it floods every year. But so I've been watching things like Elizabeth the Golden Age, Mary Queen of Scots, all of that sort of stuff. TV shows like The Wolf Hall, all of that sort of stuff. I did watch all of Nuremberg all the way through this time without a gap, and my situation on that hasn't changed. It's not a terrible film.
I watched it as well.
Not a terrible film by any stroke, but
I think it was you who said it, and I agree with you that it's the supporting cast that's not very good. Russell Crowe dominates the film, and you're almost wishing that the other characters were a bit stronger. What's his name? Is it Rami Malik.
Oh yeah. The psychologist. Yeah, the psychologist.
I think he's miscast, don't you? He doesn't.
Yeah,
he
at the
doesn't
end he's
well.
all right. You know, where he's drunk and he's talking about if you think this is not going to happen again. You've got another thing coming, and he destroys his book, doesn't he? And all of this.
Yeah. I thought I think Russell Crowe dominates it so much that
actually what somebody actually said the reason they couldn't watch it is because of the Russell Crowe's accent.
Oh wow, no,
of Goering.
I thought he did a good job for me.
I think it's one of those films that still makes me want to go on YouTube and find out what's the history of Goering and what's the history of this.
Fascinating history.
I think it still does that because I didn't know about that much about that psychologist, and I didn't know that he committed suicide. There's one thing I didn't know. No, I didn't know.
I knew that. Yeah. I mean, don't forget. I think the thing that people forget about Goring, he's an early Nazi. He's one of right in the early period of Hitler.
Yeah. So what I was saying was, it's not Goring that I didn't know committed suicide. It's the psychologist 10 years later.
Oh, the psychologist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he did it in the same way.
Yeah.
Now that surprised me. I was going, what? 10 years after the fact, he went into depression and died.
Yeah, I know.
In exactly the same circumstances as Goring.
Strange. It is strange that.
I was going, wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
So I watched The Running Man, obviously. All the things that I sent to you. I watched episode 2 of that.
Pluribus. Which I'm enjoying that. I think that's quite good. In fact, it's a new angle of a alien invasion film. I mean, that's what, and I like it for that. It's different. So far, you know,
it's growing on me. It had quite a strong start. It's still the same.
It makes you think that Apple TV are obviously knocking out some quality stuff that we never get to see.
Well, that's the thing, because I told you that in foreign countries you can get Ridley Scott's Waterloo, and you can't get it over here. In a 4K release.
Because I mean, the quality of filmmaking is high. It's a high quality production, and it's a shame that we can't, you know, they're not more available. But it's good to see a sci-fi story like that. I really enjoyed it, you know, what I've seen so far.
And I intrigued myself with what I was saying last week in regards to anniversary stuff. And it's funny that there's a lot of stuff that's because it's 2026 that's celebrating things like 60 years, 55 years, 50 years. All of that sort of stuff. I was telling you just before, I said the Avengers was 65 years ago. Star Trek is 60th anniversary. I'm sure it's longer than that. It's 1960.
Well, Avengers is early, isn't it? It's I think it's about 19. Isn't that Avengers about 1961? Ian Hendry, the very early versions.
So you've got things like Charlie's Angels, Laverne and Shirley. These are all TV shows. When it comes to films, you've got Shrek is 25, I think. You know, there's a lot of Stand By Me is definitely 40. You know, there's a lot, and all it does is it winds me up a little bit, because I just know that people are going to go, oh, did you know it was the 40th anniversary of Stand By Me? And then they'll all be doing a documentary or a little something about Stand By Me. And I'm going, oh, for goodness sake, it's been released on Steelbook. It's been released as a slipcover. It's been released on this over the last couple of years.
It's aiming to milk you, milking collectors.
And I'm just going, oh, there's another Steelbook re-release with a different cover that will be coming out.
You've got to get to the point where you can't afford to get all these things. You just have
the only thing that's come through, because again there isn't too much. That's that I've ordered, should I say, is this Black Phone 2.
Oh yeah.
Black Phone 2.
Yeah.
It's got an okay-ish sort of cover. It's nothing. It's just a photograph.
Yeah.
Ethan Hawke, Black Phone 2,
Yeah.
Limited Steelbook Edition.
I like the first one. First one.
Yeah, well, I like the first,
Yeah.
and that's why I
Yeah.
ordered the second.
Yeah.
And so I think there's a lot more coming out shortly, because there's things like Somewhere in Time coming out in February, the first couple of weeks of February. I know Muckman, if he comes on, he'll be talking about the Bone Collector, the Bone Temple, should I say, the Bone Temple,
which
28 years later, which he did a review
of.
of.
Had a lot more favourable reviews, hasn't it?
Yeah,
from what I've seen, everybody's really put the thumbs up.
Just as predictable as I thought it would be, 28 years later has been showing all week on Sky. Right, because you can go and see the sequel at the pictures. So there you are. They instantly put that out. And of course, tomorrow's Oscar nominations. So you get the nominations at 1:10 tomorrow. And at the end of the day, the Oscars mean nothing to me.
They don't mean nothing now.
But
they used to mean the same in the olden days. Used to be exciting.
It's fun to speculate. Then they'll be announced tomorrow, and then you can speculate as much as you want all the way to the ceremony, and then the ceremony will be a piece of shit, and then it'll be another year.
And it drags on for hours and hours of bullshit, doesn't it?
Yeah,
they spread it out for hours and hours. They don't get on with it.
So there you go. There's my 10 minutes.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm sure your bit is going to have a lovely bit of Tony.
Yeah, you've got that. I'll just say I watched Nuremberg, which you sent me. We've talked about that, and I thought what I said. And Pluribus, I love it. I know I said that. I just think it's just so refreshing to see a great sci-fi series, and it doesn't feel like it's got all this identity stuff in it too much. I don't think there's too much in it. It's there. It's in the story. So let's see films that I start with. I watched this one, L Drivers. It's Stanley Baker. I love Stanley Baker. This L Drivers is interesting. It's from 1957.
Is that the one where they're driving trucks around?
That's right. Yeah, and it's got an interesting cast. Sid James is in this.
Yeah.
Sid James. We got Herbert Lom. So Stanley Baker heading the cast. Sean Connery. Sean Connery's in it. Peggy Cummins, Jill Ireland. All these early roles. Fantastic. It's a really enjoyable film. I just think it stands out. And the director is Cy Enfield, who directed Mysterious Island and Zulu. Yeah, so this is the director of Zulu, and Stanley Baker, because I think he had quite a sort of relationship in terms of as an actor, as did the next film I'm going to talk about. But this, I think it's great for its time. I love these kind of 60s. Well, this is actually 1957. Black and white, just absolutely fantastic. And then this other film, this is the one I was thinking of more. Joseph Losey, a Losey film. Losey, so good. The Servant being his masterpiece, 1963. And it directed The Go-Between, which to me, Julie Christie's one of a great period. That's in 1971. Michelle Klein as well, which is a brilliant film, 1976, with Alain Delon. Yeah, I can always get that in. Anyhow, but yeah, this is really good. It's a good look at that period in sort of 60s. I love it when you see the streets of London and how London looked, and you get a lot of great location film in it. And the cast, as I said, got Stanley Baker, Jill Bennett, Patrick McGee, Patrick Wymark, some great acting names there. And I think this works well. It starts off like almost a prison drama. He's getting out of prison. Is he going to go straight? No, of course he's not going to go straight. They've got jobs lined up. He gets a job and it doesn't go well, ends up back in prison. Then he's out again. And it has a certain inevitability, which the ending, I think, is you kind of think it's going to happen, and it does happen. The ending, but it's a great film. That I love Stanley Baker, more Stanley Baker. And then I've got this one. Now this is a sort of very different kind of film, and I just tried it. I knew nothing about it. It's called No Love for Johnny. It's from 1961, and it's based on a book written by a Labour MP, Wilfred, I've never heard of him, Fineborough. And it's the story of this Labour MP from a northern constituency who, it doesn't sound very northern at all. He's deliberately lost his accent, and he's down there. It seems really, you wouldn't think he was a Labour MP. They were all posh kind of people, but they've all. He's deliberately lost the accent, and they're all career politicians in many ways. Even though he's supposedly a radical on the left, he's clearly a career politician, just grabbing, the votes and that have you. And this has got an interesting cast in it. It's got Stanley Holloway, Donald Pleasance. Donald Pleasance is in a different role. Yeah, Billy Whitelaw. She's a great actress. She's in this. Dennis Price, who pops up in so many things in the 60s. Fenella Fielding even pops up. You can't help but when you hear Fenella Fielding with her voice. And Peter Sallis. I know I spotted Peter Sallis in this, which I'd never seen him in sort of any films before, but he must have popped up in a few things, his early career. But I really enjoyed it. It's just a good snapshot of the time, and it's a lot of the filming in Parliament. It looks realistic.
Yeah,
I think they must have built the set because I don't think they wouldn't have been allowed to film in there. But it looks absolutely great. Really enjoyed that one. And then finally, this is I've got a horror in. It's called Horrors of the Black Museum from 19.
No, I've heard of that. But I don't think I've seen it. I've heard of it.
I think it's again, it's one of those films that it's got atmosphere. There's so many films. The horror is always in the atmosphere, though it is quite horrific in places for its age, 1959. It's like there's these binoculars, right? And then this woman, she puts the binoculars, and out of the binoculars come these like spikes, and they go into her eyes and kill her. It's quite, for its time, that must have been quite shocking.
That sounds like the scene in Theatre of Blood where those two spikes are going towards Ian Drury's eyes. When he's they're coming down the sled and then
yeah. So this for 1959, this is pretty advanced, I would say, definitely advanced. But it must have got past the censors. I presume they might have given it an X certificate in those days, because the X certificate rules were a bit different. But and it's interesting. It's directed by this bloke. I've not heard of him, but Arthur Crabtree, his name is. But he was famous for his TV stuff. He did The Adventures of Robin Hood and The Adventures of Sir Lancelot, which were all both TV series in 1956. And also he directed all the Doctor films, from Doctor in the House.
Oh yeah, Doctor at Sea, Doctor in the House.
Yeah, he directed all those. So it's an interesting take that he went into horror. I really enjoyed it. It's just full of atmosphere. It's just really a good film, which I wasn't really expecting much, but yeah, and I like that cover out. You can see the binoculars.
Tony York did good then.
Yeah, Tony York, his corner was brilliant. The Tony York
corner.
Yeah. So
hey, I'll tell you what. Have you actually got Elizabeth I? The film.
Which one?
You know, the Kate Blanchett one.
Yes, I've got that one. Yeah, I've got that one. Yeah.
But you know why I was going to ask that, don't you?
I was go on.
Because it's got one of your favourite actors in it, hasn't it?
Oh, James Mason.
Oh, it's got Sir Richard Attenborough, isn't it?
Oh, Sir Richard Attenborough. Ah, crikey. Do you know,
Well, Sir Richard, you know, so
I'll have to dig it out. I haven't watched it for ages.
I forgot what character he plays. I don't know if it's no. Who does he play?
Oh,
he plays one of the He plays one of the courtiers, doesn't he?
Oh, Raleigh.
Could be no. They'd be too old for that.
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Oh, brilliant.
You got if you got Dickie in it. You know, I thought, well, you bloody hell, you must have that.
Got to have Dickie or James Mason. We're in. Yeah.
Yeah, it's a bit too new for James Mason. I think he was dead.
Yeah. Well, you can always revive him, can't you?
You know, they could be knocking on his coffin saying, "Do you want to be in this film?"
Come on, James. You remember your role in Salem's Lot? Come on now, up you get.
But I must admit, I do have to go and look after my mum. But I do hope that some people will keep you company, Ian, with some comments.
Yeah.
And maybe you can sort of like deliberate on anniversary type stuff.
Yeah.
I mentioned that Stand By Me's coming. You know, is approaching its story of Star Trek. Is it's in its 60th. Apparently, what else did it say? It said that in America, it's the 100th year of some film studio or some TV studio that's going to be doing a big celebration of 100 years of broadcasting.
Yeah.
You know, there's a lot of things that are happening.
Actually, I saw this thing on Lost Films. That's something I've not thought about. You know, you look in films and films disappeared from archives, or they were in fire. There's a famous fire, isn't there, amongst one at studios, which loads of films got destroyed. And I was quite surprised at some really interesting films that have just been lost. We'll never.
The Bionic Woman was released 50 years ago. NBC, they are 100th anniversary. NBC in America. Right. Even the CW, which is Warner's Children's Channel, is 20th anniversary.
Yeah.
So it's 65 years for the Avengers and 60 years for Star Trek.
Yeah. Oh, the
50
Avengers.
50 years for the new Avengers.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? There's a lot. All anybody's got to do is just type in TV show anniversaries 2026 or film anniversary,
and you get a list up.
And then guys deliberate on it with Ian. He'll love talking about stuff like that, because it's our eras. Really. The 80s, the 70s, the 60s.
And well, for me, it starts in 60s,
and like you're saying, and if they get a bit shy, start talking about that Blake 7.
Oh yeah, we'll talk about Blake 7 as well. We can do as well.
And I'll be back hopefully in about 30-40 minutes. Hopefully, all right. It all depends on how quickly I can get my mum to bed now. How she is. But thanks very much for supporting me and knowing that I do have to do this with my mum. She's lovely. And, I just need to make sure that she's okay and comfortable in bed. So I'll see you all guys on my return. Thanks very much as well, Ian, for your support.
Cheers. That's all right. You're welcome. No problem. We'll see you. Right. That's an interesting point. Was talking about anniversaries. So if any films interested in you, that you're interested in, we'll talk about them. Also, what do you think about this Blake 7 reboot? Is it just another example of lack of ideas again, or is it something worthwhile that might be good, or, which is what I fear, is it going to be another of these films where series is, where they can't stop bringing the politics of identity politics in now and all this nonsense. We just want good sci-fi stories, and I mean, reboots can work. The most famous example I can think of is Battlestar Galactica. In many ways, the reboot was actually better than the original. I think so. I absolutely love that reboot of Battlestar Galactica. But you can get disasters as well. I think they tried it with The Prisoner. I mean, how can you do The Prisoner? How can you do The Prisoner? It was so different. And they did, and it was terrible. It was terrible. How could they do that to The Prisoner? Oh, crikey. Yeah, so, yeah, we could talk about anything like that I want to talk about an anniversary. So what we'll do is we'll go through some comments. See, let's get these. So we've got Sai saying evening gang, and then we've got Kima saying hello there, and then we've got Sai saying hi Kima, and then we've got Rocket Bunny saying good evening guys, welcome Rocket Bunny, thank you so much for joining us. Then we've got Sai saying hiya Rocket Bunny, and then we've got Tony, good evening Ian and Del and chat. And you're really lucky, Tony, you didn't get the Delboy rant. You didn't get the Delboy rant. That's great. And you've got a Sweeney picture there, which is great. Absolutely wonderful. Sweeney, why not? It's your favorite, isn't it? Zulu and the Sweeney. Hey, good crossover series there, yeah. And then we've got Sai saying, and get this always happens to it. Yeah, Tony. And then Tony saying hi, Sai. And then praise from Del. I know, crikey. You better watch it. Yeah. So hell has frozen over. Go on, what can you say? Right. And then Rocket Money says, never heard of No Love for Johnny. After a quick look on YouTube for clips, that's the first one added to my watch list. No stream found, but added the DV to my save for later. Yeah, I think it's well worth doing. It's a great sort of period piece. Well worth looking at, definitely. What can I say? I just think it was absolutely wonderful. I love that kind of period, and it just worked so well. And Peter Finch, apparently, and I was reading a bit behind the scenes, he was a pretty heavy drinker, and I don't know how directors and people like that managed, but they had to try and keep these people sober because they'd be coming on set, and you can imagine, can't you? Coming on set, they're already a bit drunk. They have a lunch break, and you can imagine they're down at the pub again. How did these actors, some of them, manage to give performances? Well, eventually some didn't, but apparently he was quite a heavy drinker, Peter Finch. Not that it shows. His performance is excellent, but you just wonder, don't you? And also, the cast in that film, Donald Pleasance. I love to see Donald Pleasance in early roles. It's just so different from what his career developed into. It's absolutely wonderful. And of course, Billy Whitelaw. She's a great actress. Absolutely love Billy Whitelaw. She's in there. And as soon as I heard the voice, I knew there was Fenella Fielding around. A voice, you just know it. It's there. Oh, wonderful. And then we've got Kiva saying, I'm glad they moved on from. I didn't realize this movie was this old. I was feeling old. Yeah, I know what you mean. I am old. Oh yeah, I'm going to be 66 this year. So there you are. I'm old. Pensioner. I'm nearly a pensioner. And then Keenan says I spoke too soon. And then Si says two of my favorite films of all time turned 40 this year. All right. Oh, Big Trouble in Little China and Aliens. Now that makes me feel old. Oh yes, yeah. As and I'm almost showing off again, but yeah, I saw both of those at the cinema as well. When they first came out, Big Trouble in Little China. I think that's a great film. Some people don't rate it as highly as a Carpenter film, but I rather like its story, its weirdness. I think the weird bits in it. I think are really good. I like the Chinese stuff and all that. I think it's great. Brilliant. And Aliens. Aliens is a great film. I still think Alien though is my favorite. The first one. I just love the sci-fi horror, but you can't argue with Aliens over years. It's an action film and well loved. Yeah, don't worry about feeling old. We're all old. yeah, yeah. And as I say, it's as how old you feel, but some days you do feel older. I do with cold. Bloody hell, the cold. I'm struggling with cold. Tony says, I think that copy of No Love for Johnny was a bootleg that Ian has. I got an official release. I think it was from Strawberry Media. If you're interested in all the British films, they're the ideal level. Yeah, I might write that down. Strawberry Media. I'm going to write that down because these old films I absolutely love. Yeah. I will check them out. Put that there. Strawberry Media. I just there's something about that kind of period that I just love. Here we are. Tony York says it's the 60th anniversary of the original Star Trek. I think. Do you know? I think you're right. It is, isn't it? That's 1966. Yeah. Well, what can you say about Star Trek? One of the most influential TV shows and brilliant. It's the 60s. I love the 60s. So you've got Doctor Who starting in the 60s, and you've got Star Trek. And you've got the Avengers. Yes, which I love the Avengers. But Star Trek, the original series, doesn't it look great? And if I've got the Blu-rays of it, and they redid them all, and they look absolutely fantastic. The color just pops out, absolutely wonderful. The problem with Star Trek is with the Blu-ray releases, we're only going to have the original series and the Next Generation as well, which I've got. Apparently, they're too expensive to convert to Blu-ray, which is a shame. I don't know mechanics totally behind it. It's to do with film and video. I know probably Delboy wouldn't understand it more, but I know at least we got the original Star Trek series, and wow, doesn't it look great? That 60s feel to it, and the stories as well. You see, I could go on one of my rants, but I won't be a rant really. But what I think it makes Star Trek really interesting, and new writers should look at Star Trek, is that they can do issues without preaching about them. And Star Trek covered loads and loads of different issues, but you didn't feel that you were being preached at. It was told in a story form. They didn't need to bring in all this other agenda that they do nowadays, which is such a shame. I mean, why are they doing that? Hopefully it'll disappear. And that's what I said about the Blake 7 thing. I mean, crikey, they could start messing about with that. And if they do, it's just going to be awful. I really just can't believe it. I don't know. I've got to make up my own mind. But this Star Trek Academy, I don't know whether I should take notice. But I've been watching a lot of reviews of Star Trek Academy, and they've not been too kind, because it's one of these Alex Kurtzman projects. Fortunately, he's gone now. I think he's gone, but he's seems to be all into this Disney stuff, pressing thing. But Star Trek Academy looks pretty awful in places. But I want to make up my own mind. But if they're doing that to Star Trek, then they need to get back to the original things. So the thing about Star Trek, it's such a good idea. Why can't they just continue and follow on in good terms of sci-fi writing? They can do that. They've done it. I mean, look at Next Generation. In many ways, Next Generation was bigger than the original Star Trek. So popular. Deep Space Nine. I absolutely love Deep Space Nine. It didn't get quite as good, people enjoying Deep Space Nine. But I love these art storytelling. It's like Babylon 5, which is another great sci-fi series. And Voyager, really good series. And even Enterprise. Enterprise was a great series as well. But unfortunately, ratings weren't good enough and it got axed after 4 seasons. But that's how Star Trek should continue, not with this new rubbish, which started with that awful Sector 31. What on earth possessed them to produce that? And it all comes down to people in charge who think, oh yeah, we're reflecting what's the times are now. That's one of the problems. And the writers think, oh yeah, we've got to have all this gender stuff and we've got to push it. It's all wrong. Why are they doing that? I'm spoiling stories. But I think things will change. I'm really hoping, that there's been such a reaction and that they are listening. And they should do. They should listen. And Doctor Who as well, hopefully. Now it's going back to more BBC control, though we don't know who's going to be controlling it. Let's get back to how Doctor Who should be, not this rubbish we just had. Unfortunately, Russell T Davies is doing the Christmas special, but let's get Doctor Who back to how it was. I mean, I'm watching for my channel all the Hartnell stories, and you're thinking, crikey, these are great stories. Hartnell era, absolutely brilliant. I'm really having an absolute blast watching it, and they're really good sci-fi stories as well as historical ones. You're thinking to yourself, they could write then. They could write. They knew how to do it. This is in the 1960s. Why can't they do it now? And Doctor Who was on an absolute, really, you can tell often the budget is next to nothing. But yeah, just a good story, clever directors, the cast being up for it. They can do a great job, and they do. Okay, there are some mistakes, intimate story ambitions, but I think it's great. Anyway, there's me. I go into my preaching mode, but there we are. Rocket Bunny DVD is on Amazon, maybe on Netflix. So I'll have a look when I get around to subbing for a month to catch up on other shows. Well, that's good. That's fantastic. Well worth doing. Yeah, great. I would do that if you can. And then Sai says, I'm scared that Blake Seven will get the whole modern day makeover. If you get what I mean. Yeah, it's just what I've been on about. It's just, please don't do it. Please, you can almost cringe at what they're going to do, and it's just common sense. Now that they must realize that. I mean, they can't be stupid, or can they be? They must know what fans are really thinking about. All these series that have flopped. It's like this new Starfleet Academy. Apparently, on YouTube, it was put up I think it was in America, not in this country. And the first episode hardly got any views. And it was free to watch. People were that put off, they didn't want to watch it. In fact, somebody, as a joke, put up a chair with a model, one of these figures of Spock. And that was it. It was just watching that. And it got more views. It got more views than the Star Trek. People more interested in that. Yeah. Which kind of just shows you the state of something like Star Trek has descended to, that people just have given up on it, and that is so sad. But I'm thinking, oh, I just couldn't bear to watch some of that drivel. I just couldn't bear it, and I'm trying to be positive about Doctor Who, because the Ncuti Gatwa stuff, I gave up on it. I couldn't bear to watch it. I just couldn't bear to watch it. So hopefully, get rid of Russell T Davies, get another writer in, and get a good doctor. Obviously, we don't know who the doctor's going to be, but please choose a good doctor and get a good writer. Or if you're not going to do that, just don't bother. But they have, because the BBC want more Doctor Who. So that the only hope is that they'll have a good clear out. Just have a good clear out and get some people in who are actually listening to the fans and also know about writing, about how to do it. That's all you ask for. You don't want gender-based writing and all that and this ideology stuff. We don't want it. Tony says, never followed Blake 7. Don't know why. It's never appealed for some reason. Yeah, I understand that. I think Blake 7's audience was probably like me. It came from Doctor Who, because I think some of the creators of Blake 7, well, Terry Nation is one of the creators as well, but some of the writers as well from Doctor Who went over to Blake 7. And I think that's, for me, it was like a natural progression from Doctor Who, watching Blake 7, and absolutely loved it at the time. I remember watching it. I just thought fantastic. It was everything I was looking for. There's some really great story writing and characters and that. And I say, it's called Blake 7, but by the second series, he leaves. And then it carried on, and Avon, Paul Darrow's character, became the main focal point. It was just brilliant. And Jacqueline Pearce as Servalan, wow, she was hot. But she was great. She was one of those, played a villain beautifully played by Blythe. She was great, Jacqueline Pearce. Sadly, she's no longer with us as well. And she has appeared in Doctor Who as well. She did. And then we've got Tony saying, quite a few good actors were reputedly heavy drinkers. Burton, oh yeah, Reed, etc. Burton and Reed, I know. I mean, Oliver Reed, the stories you hear about Oliver Reed, how on earth did he manage to learn his scripts and perform like he did? And he did. I mean, I think he probably did have some clashes with some directors, but I think maybe later on in his career it got worse. And of course, he died in a pub, notoriously on Gladiators filming. And Richard Burton, of course, is another one. How on earth did he do it? Yeah, I always think Richard Burton didn't make enough good films. His talent deserved more, I think. I don't know what happened to him. Everything just seemed to go wrong with Richard Burton. He's in some great films, but you expected, I think, kind of more. I think more from Richard Burton than we got, which is a shame. But because he's in Where Eagles Dare, one of the best war films ever, and he's great in that. Some great films he did make, but there we are. Drink. It does destroy a lot of people, unfortunately. It really does. And then so I said, I think it's a lack of originality from modern day writers and producers. It's as if they ask for ideas of what might work. Yeah, it is the originality, isn't it? But you'd have thought, good writers just are able to produce good stories. They are. I mean, they still can do it, and you can still do it in films as well. You don't have to do more sequels to films all the time. You could still produce original stories. There's still writers there, and they should encourage them on. It's a great thing, but just encourage new writers. Take chances, and if a writer's hungry, they're going to give you some really good stuff. I know they are. If they're a good writer, they will give you some really good stuff. And originality is the thing. But I think the other thing is Hollywood. There's a difference in them between Hollywood and independent filmmakers. The problem is Hollywood. It's kind of become just a bad place to be involved in. That they're predictable, they're frightened, and they stick to what they think they know. They know they have an idea of what a film should be like in their eyes, and that's it. They don't take risks. Whereas an independent filmmakers, they can do their films how they want and then produce great films. But you just thought Hollywood would learn from it. Maybe it will. The more failures it has, the more times maybe it will learn. But it's almost like some of these films that lose money, they ignore it. It's like they've got money to waste. They just waste money. I mean, why keep wasting money? But they do. But what are you doing wasting money? You could. Why do it? And why be predictable? Oh, they think they're going to be on for a winner, and maybe they may not get what they think. I mean, look at I think Marvel is going to be in for a bit more of a shock. I may be wrong, but they think that the Avengers, this new Avengers film, will save them. They do. I think they really do. They think they're going to make money, and it's as it. But I wonder if people are as bothered about it. I don't know. I mean, to be honest, I'd like to see a good film, a good one, but people they've done it all wrong with these superhero films. People have got fed up. I know we mention it every week, but it's true. But people just have got fed up with it. But maybe there's a chance for them to do something. But will that feeling that we've had enough affect this new release? I don't know. I really don't know. I mean, I thought Thunderbolts was a good film, but that's a smaller Marvel film, and I thought that worked quite well. I quite enjoyed Thunderbolts. It's about the first one I've enjoyed for a very long time. Most of them, I just had enough of them. They're rubbish. So maybe something's there, but where do you go after that? I don't know. I suppose the Spider-Man one. I know Delboy's a big Spider-Man fan. Is that going to provide what people want? I don't know. And I hope so. I mean, Spider-Man's a good set of films. Let's just hope that it does something. Not everybody I know is a big fan of Tom Holland, and I can get that. I get that. He's not everybody's favorite, so we'll see what happens with Spider-Man. But that's an interesting thing to look forward to. And then Rocket Bunny says, with regard to Blake 7, there's not enough detail to form an opinion yet. Yeah, I bet if they use the starting characters of the original, someone is going to be race changed to avoid an all-white crew. Yeah, I think that is true. Unless they found a way of bringing in Dana earlier than the original did, Series 3. Interesting. Yeah. I forgot about Dana. They brought Dana in, didn't they? Yeah, it would be interesting to how they do it. But because it's not going to be just the. I think what annoys me, and let's be honest, what annoys me is the sort of sex thing. You know, you've got to immediately decide to have somebody. What has somebody's sexuality got to do with the storyline? You know, it doesn't matter. We're not bothered about that. But yeah, they try and make it an issue. Yeah. Oh, look, there's the gay character. You know, wow. Yeah. What I know. It's like it's just putting it there because you feel you've got to tick the box and you've got to tick the color box. You've got to tick whatever. Why can't they just do a story where we're not bothered about who they sleep with? We just want the characters. You know, we just want to get on and do a good story. And if it is said, then that's it. We don't need to dwell on it. You just get on with the story because that's how it was in the past. You know, I don't know. You know, in the past, people are sleeping. We know what they're doing. It doesn't matter. We're not interested. We're interested in the characters just getting on with each other and then, you know, and arguing and conflicts as you get with characters. That's all you're interested in. You know, that's it. And Blake Seven was good at that, you know, because I remember in the series with Blake, not everybody was behind him at all. Originally on the Rebellion, you know, you started to get all sorts of people arguing on that. You got the conflict as well in that, and I think that worked well, and that's what people enjoyed it. But I don't understand it really. But there we are. It's in a way, it's how the audience is going to react, isn't it? Will the fans put up with it? If it's going to be all this nonsense, then the fans are just not going to bother with it, which is a shame. But they're not because we don't want it, you know. And hopefully they're listening. Hopefully, but you know, the BBC should listen. You know, it's like when Doctor Who comes back, just get it back to how it was in 2005. I mean, I love the classic Doctor Who. Classic Doctor Who is always the best for me, but you've got to go on modern day. If they're going to do it from one way, get back to 2005 way of doing Doctor Who. Cut all this nonsense out. Anyway, I better go on. And then we've got, hey, hello, wee Bobart. Hello, Bob. For a change, I made it onto a live stream. Hi, Ian and Del. Hope you're all well. Yeah, we're okay. Yeah, thank you for joining us. And then we've got Sai saying hi, wee Bob. Tony saying hi, Bob. And then Rocket Bunny, hey, wee Bob, welcome. And then wee Bob, I watched Rental Family last week. Really enjoyed it. Worth a watch. Oh, sounds interesting. I don't know anything about Rental Family, but yeah, always interested in good films. Oh, listen to this. Sai says, I'm going on Sunday to watch Rental Family. I'm looking forward to seeing it. You have to say what you think about it as well. And then Sai says, I hope you enjoy it, Sai. And then Rocket Bunny, putting on my Star Trek geek hat on. Well, actually, the pilot was made from the end of 1964 to 65. So we're actually past 60th already. Ah, yes. Yeah, that's true. That's true, yes. Yeah, Star Trek with its pilot episodes. The original one, which they made into The Cage in their first season run, they sort of combined it. But yeah, there was the original The Cage story was one, and then we got the first official one, which is it Where No One's Gone Before? I think that's it. I think that's the first one. it's a while since I watched Star Trek, but yeah, there were like that was the official pilot one, and then the first story I know was a Dr. McCoy story, as I remember. Oh, I've forgotten what it's called, but yeah, we get then straight into the series, and I know the first one is Dr. McCoy falling in love, and of course, unfortunately for him, the woman he's in love with happens to be this shape shifting monster, like yes, who he thinks he's in love with. Kind of done before, used that idea, but it's a very interesting idea, as I remember. Again, it's a series I think in the future I'm definitely going to go back to watching all original Star Trek. I just think it would be really enjoyable to go through them all again. That's what I will do. I think I'm hoping. I don't know when. Probably be drop dead by the time I do it, but anyway. But I'd love to. I think it'd be worthwhile. Tony Ox, without googling, I had a feeling a first transmission of an episode was 1966, but I'm not sure. I don't know. And then Sai says, not to be controversial, that means you're going to be. I've never seen a single episode of any Star Trek TV show. I've seen all the movies, which I really enjoyed. Wow. Well, yeah, the movies are great. Absolutely. I love them all. Even the bad one is not as, it's all right. I know it isn't good, but it's still enjoyable. It's number 5. But yeah, I think all the movies are great. But, it depends, I think if you get into the original series, you can absolutely have a ball with it. It's 60s, but maybe that's my bias because of, growing up in the 60s. I just love it so much. It's like with loving Doctor Who, the original 60s Doctor Who as well. It's just really special. But I understand a lot of the Star Trek audience will be, of course, with the Next Generation, which really the Next Generation in many ways is probably more popular than the original Star Trek. And what a great run that was. 7 series of Star Trek The Next Generation, all them episodes. And relatively speaking, there's not that many weak episodes. There are some, but a lot of real good quality. And as I said, by the third season, it absolutely goes into another universe. I know the first season is perhaps seen as very weak in some areas, but I think there's still a lot to enjoy in it as it's finding its feet. Second series, that new Doctor, because Gates McFadden left, but then she did come back. So we've got another Doctor who's a kind of McCoy kind of Doctor. And then a lot of people then look to the third series, and of course the introduction of the Borg just changed everything, I think, to some extent. The Borg really were massive, and it got going. The writing and those classic seasons now, I call them classic, they're just, and in many ways it surpassed the original series. Yeah, it did. As I say, I do have a lot of love for the original series. But yeah, I mean, I used to rush home from work wanting to watch Star Trek on BBC Two. I think it might have been its original transmission, and I was absolutely following it. I had it all on VHF tapes, recording as well, in case I want back in time. And then I kept them for years. I kept every one. I think I had every episode that they transmitted, because there were a couple that they didn't transmit. But yeah, Next Generation was massive. There was a couple of banned episodes, wasn't there? Next Generation, Conspiracy, they cut. I know that one. And there was another one which I've forgotten. I used to remember it. which had an IRA reference in, and they had to they wouldn't show it. I think that was it. There may have been another one as well, but it was controversial. But yeah, I enjoyed it. Next Generation, I think I've got a lot of. I think if you look overall, the quality is just fantastic. The Next Generation. I say I do have the soft spot. The third season of Star Trek, the original series, is definitely weak. There's some episodes that really don't work and that, but they were lucky to get that. So I always try and be positive about the third season. Okay, the fans got it. The third season, undeniably, it worked. The fans getting it back, and therefore we do have some weaker stuff in there. I think the writers and everything, they weren't prepared enough, but amongst that, there's still some good stories, and I love it. I know you can look back at it and just think, wow, and the budget, of course, got less and less. I think by the season 3, the budget was pretty low, really low. But hey, Doctor Who manages on low budgets. Oh yeah. And then Tony says, after Googling it, it says September 8th, 1966, Man Trap was broadcast, begins in 1964. We're both right, Rocket. You tell. Right, yeah. And Tony says, I've seen the earlier Star Trek original, Next Generation, DS9, Enterprise, seen some of Voyager, but wasn't as keen on it, and gave up on Discovery during season 3. Actually, I'm exactly the same. Discovery, I gave up on season 3. I think, yeah. The best season of Discovery was the second one. When we get to the Captain Pike story, and of course we get the spin-off. But Discovery and Strange New Worlds for me, I don't know. I don't love them enough, really. I don't really like them as much, which is a shame. But Discovery kind of got lost, and season 3 was my point where I sort of given up. And Strange New Worlds, hit and miss. I think a lot of people liked it better than Discovery, but sometimes it just didn't quite. I only bought. I've got in my collection, I think, season 3, 1, 2, and 3 of Discovery, and Strange New Worlds. I think I bought 1, 2, and 3 in with them, or it might have even been the first 2. I think it may be 2 and 3, but I just didn't feel it. I thought, I'm not loving this like I should do, so I kind of went off it, which is. But I say quite a few fans like Strange New Worlds, but I still don't think it has the original feel of the first run of Star Trek. I love Enterprise for. Yeah, if you ask me to choose, I choose Enterprise. Enterprise, I was so sad. It was just really getting into its stride, and it got cancelled. The 4th season or series, whatever you want to say. Yeah, I did enjoy Enterprise a lot, and of course Scott Bakula from Quantum Leap, great, absolutely great. Who would be your dream casting of a new Doctor? My vote would go to Richard Ayoade Moss from the IT Crowd. I just think that he would be weirdly wonderful. That's an interesting shout, actually. Yeah, I think that's quite good. When did the IT Crowd finish? I don't know how old he is now, what he looks like, and what has he done since IT Crowd? Has he done much? Is he still you know, still good. That's an interesting choice. The thing is, I have to be honest. I don't know any sort of newer actors. Or the ones that you could think of are maybe too old, or maybe not. You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm out of touch with a lot of newer actors. I think I am. People say, yeah. I mean, I have watched some YouTube things where they're talking about various people, and I'm thinking, oh, I don't know them, and I don't know this and that. But one good thing will be Russell T Davies will not be choosing the new Doctor. That, as far as I know, it'll be the new showrunner. And if they get a really good showrunner, then we'll get a better actor, I think, who's been chosen not for various awful reasons, but just for being a good actor who will fit in with Doctor Who. I'll be honest, I don't know, but I'm sure whoever it is. I mean, don't forget, originally, a lot of the actors we didn't know as well, though. William Hartnell was in a lot of films, so he had a film career. Patrick Troughton, of course, had a good film career and TV appearances as well. He was good. John Pertwee, of course, we know John Pertwee from Wurzel Gummidge. But before that, before Wurzel Gummidge, he was just somebody who just stood out. They just picked him, and it was a brilliant choice. And of course, Tom Baker. I think they chose him on the strength of the Sinbad film. Apparently, they went to the story. They went to watch the film, loved him in the Sinbad film. I said, "There's the Doctor," and then asked him to join. So he was quite a risk, I think, at the time, but a good one, a very good risk. Picking Tom Baker like that was absolutely fantastic. I don't know enough about this Richard Otherday, apart from I've just seen him in the IT Crowd. I don't know. Have you seen him in anything else, Delboy?
Only in game shows and documentaries.
That's what I mean. I don't. I think I wouldn't immediately. And I have heard other people say mention him, but that is it's an interesting.
It says, who would be your dream casting for a new Doctor? My vote would be Richard Ross from IT Crowd. I just think they would be weirdly wonderful.
Yeah,
I've got my own opinion. I think for Doctor Who to come back, they need to say that anything from Jodie Marsh onwards was another dimension-y thing, and it goes back to the Capaldi and the last story that he was in, which would be Twice Upon a Time, the William Hartnell going back to the 10th planet. And when he regenerates, who would I want to be? Well, I'd go back to the fact that I want it to become darker.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want a comedian per se. Yeah. But I'd like somebody who would be a sort of all-rounder. I'll tell you, here's left field for you. How about Sean Bean?
Oh, that is left field, but an interesting choice. It's an interesting choice.
Well, he can be funny. He can be funny. He's a bit older. They keep going younger. It would still be younger.
We need an older one. I think we do need an older Doctor.
When you consider that William Hartnell was in his 50s, I wouldn't want them to be too old.
Yeah.
They've gone 30s, 20s.
Yeah. And I would make a thing as well. I would say no love interests. Get rid of all that romance stuff.
So I'd want to go back to probably the end of Peter Capaldi and regenerate into someone a little bit younger. So maybe Sean Bean wouldn't be good.
They may well. Don't you think they could reboot it? They might just totally reboot.
Well, they could, but it's just that you've had a reboot, you've had another reboot, now you're having another reboot. And I just think to myself, if you just say all of that stuff from Jodie, is it Whittaker? Actually, Whittaker was a sort of a separate thing in the story that was a pocket dimension like E-Space was, or something like that.
Yeah.
And it goes from there.
It's another universe. You can get around that. You say, oh, that was
and all of that stuff was just there. And you continued it from, because Capaldi's last season, with those Cybermen with a little explanation of why they got the little teardrop.
Yeah.
All of that sort of stuff was all interesting story stuff and quite dark. Yeah. And I just think it needs to bring the mystery back.
Yeah.
And it needs to continue a darkish theme for a bit and then lighten it up, just like they did. But like I said, I think the stories, and this is just probably showing my age.
Yeah.
I think the stories back in the 60s and the 70s, they knew when to sort of like lighten the mood, and they knew that the story had to be gripping and be a drama.
Yeah.
It's not a drama when you do Jodie Whittaker and all of that sort of stuff, because the drama element is not there, and it's played for laughs.
Yeah. You've got to treat it seriously. If the actors are not treating it, they're given a script, but if the script isn't really serious, you can have humor in serious stuff.
Well, a lot of people
was brilliant at doing that. It was very funny, but they were often in very serious, dark situations.
Well, he used humor. He used humor to get out of a difficult situation. He used to say, "You can't kill me because I'm a genius." It's like that's a quip. But what I'm saying is that I think there was just too much. I think it's a shame for the actors, to be quite honest, because I don't think there's anything wrong with Jodie, and I don't think there's anything really wrong with, I forget his name even, because I can never pronounce it anyway.
Oh, Shooting Gatwa.
Shooting Gatwa.
To me,
because it was the writing and the showrunner.
Yeah, that's right. The writing was an agenda writing.
Christopher Eccleston, I couldn't believe it when he came out and he said, "I'd come back when you sack the production team." And I thought, that's a bit bold. That's a bit
we know
nasty.
why now.
But I'll tell you what, he's dead on.
Yeah.
Let him get rid of that lot and start the damn thing on a good foot. You need someone that's a script writer, and you need to go back to those old days, where you didn't have a showrunner that was also the script editor. You want a script editor and a showrunner, and you need them to be two separate. And you go, look, you've brought it back. You're the showrunner. Don't write a story. You're banned from writing a story.
Yeah.
You have these team that write the story. You can read it if you want, but you're not going to write a story. Bugger off. Right? I mean, how bad would it have been with John Nathan Turner writing a story? Jesus Christ, man. He was there because he was a production person.
Yeah.
He knew how to produce something. He had a team that wrote the stories.
Yeah. Well,
the
script editor was very important in those days. Seems to me the script editor now, it's not the same role. It's not the same.
We haven't got writers like Douglas Adams anymore, or Bob Holmes, or any of those. And even in the 80s with Pip and Jane Baker and all of those sort of things, at least they sort of like knew a little bit about bringing a mystery element to it, even if they were a bit sort of like out there with their stories. They knew pacing, I think is the word. Probably a little bit, right? Some people will turn around and say, "What do you mean pacing?" Because those 4 episode stories, I mean, Christ, you could knock one of them bloody episodes out. Yeah. But they knew how to write a 25-minute episode.
They did, yeah. Yeah.
And all this, we're going to make them 50 minutes, and they're going to be a singular story. How about making some of those like back in the day when they were an hour and a half, two
Yeah.
episodes joined together? I mean, you don't get
Yeah.
many 2 episodes joined
Yeah.
together, right? To make a bit of a longer story, they've all got to be all told in a very fast fashion, incredibly quick, shot past your eyes at like lightning speed, and you
Yeah.
go at the end. Well, I don't know what to make of that because my brain hasn't worked out what the
Yeah.
first 5 minutes was yet.
Also, I saw a thing on YouTube, and I kind of understood it. Now, if you're aiming at a younger audience, apparently the attention is not as strong. People are there on the phones. Well, you shouldn't be watching Doctor Who on your phone anyhow. It should be watched on the TV. But people watch it, and therefore, to keep them interested, you have to keep having like these sections. You know, the way the story is, and which is, it doesn't work like that. You know, if someone is saying, "Oh, I'm bored now," flicking on. What?
Yeah.
That's not.
I mean, I don't want to go back to the type of thing that we had with the A-Team and Knight Rider, where Kit is given a new laser and he's given it at the beginning, and then the last 10 minutes he has to use that laser because what was the point in telling you that laser was in it, and then you don't see the laser again for about 2 years because you've forgotten all about it. I don't want any of that, but you know, I mean, another thing that I thought was bad was the sonic screwdriver used to be used. You know, at least you knew that it wouldn't work on a wooden lock. Now it's spinning around. It can tell you whether you've got cancer. It can tell you whether you've got cancer or not.
It does.
You know, I'm going, and it's a weapon as well. I'm going, what? It fires lasers now. What the freaking hell's going on with this? It's just all wrong to me.
Yeah, it's kind of lazy writing. I think I heard one of the writers saying about that the sonic screwdriver was actually a bad thing because it made writers lazy. Because if they got the Doctor in a situation, what did he do? He got a sonic screwdriver. He's locked in a room. What does he do? Use his sonic screwdriver. Whereas if he hasn't got that, you have to have a different.
I want stories like Christopher Eccleston's Dalek story. You know that he was scared to death and all of this and stuff. You know, he said
very dark story.
You know, and I'll tell you what, a story that's not very well received, but one that I really loved, and I'll tell you, it takes me back to my childhood, where the TARDIS to me was a mystery. Right, the TARDIS was a mystery, and they did a story where the TARDIS's matrix was transported into a body of a girl, and it was Idris. They called her Idris.
Oh, right. Yes, I
remember, right? And she was saying, I don't know how to tell you who I am, but I'm this. And she opened her mouth, and it was the noise of the TARDIS. She said, what? You're the TARDIS?
Yeah.
And she was burning up, and she was going to die, and she got back into the TARDIS. She came out, went into it, and then killed the creature that was inside the TARDIS and all of that. I thought that was an interesting premise because it's an interesting story, right?
Yeah.
But I'd have loved that if that would have been shown in classic era.
Yeah.
No?
Actually, one of the things I loved was right at the end of Tom Baker's era when we got inside the TARDIS. Do you remember when the bell was tolling and we had all that business?
Yeah.
And the further you went in the TARDIS, I loved it, all that. Seeing how big the TARDIS is. We forget how big it is. You know,
the other thing I'd like is that as much as I love all these new TARDIS consoles and all this sort of stuff, go back to the old one for a season.
Yeah,
right? Wasn't it really good when Tom Baker said, "Oh, I'm going to the old control one," and it was the wooden panel TARDIS, stained glass windows, and it looked like there was a bureau in the middle of the room, and he opened up these little panels, and there was little.
It was great,
and I thought to myself, that's interesting.
Yeah.
Right, I'm glad they only did it for one season, but what I'm saying is we for years loved the whiteness and the arundrals and the rotary arm that went up and down. You know, I even like the idea that when William Hartnell was around, it was all in black and white, and Ian Chesterton turned around and he said, "Haven't you got a color camera for this TV?" He says, "Well, I have, but it's broken at the moment."
Yeah.
Right, and this is before there was even color TV.
And actually,
they were forward enough thinking to say he's in a box that can go through space time, and he's got a black and white bloody TV. What's that all about, right? So it's that sort of forward thinking, and we don't have that forward.
Yeah. Well, it's like, how do they eat in the TARDIS? I'd forgotten this. And
well, yeah, he had that machine, didn't he?
They've got
the
pressing the button, which is interesting, isn't it? For that,
and
era.
he even had a machine that could predict the future. Sort of. It was only for a couple of seconds or something, but it was only on a. He explained it as being, it's the future, but it's a certain track of a times that might happen. It doesn't necessarily is going to happen. It's a track of a possibility of something. He was showing things like the Beatles and that, wasn't he? All of this sort of stuff.
Yeah.
And I was going, that's interesting.
It is. Lots of interesting
because you've got a time machine that can go in space and time, but it predicts as well. That's good, isn't it?
Yeah. I
mean, that's an idea, isn't it? I mean, these are the ideas that make a young person go, "Wow!"
Yeah, and it knows if it's under threat as well. It can get its defense up. It's just so clever, isn't it? It just that's what the great thing is.
Idris worded it quite well. He said, "You're very unreliable." He says, "You never took me to where I wanted to go." And she goes, "No, but I took you where you needed to go."
Yeah.
And I'm going, that's the sort of language I want to hear. It's like, oh wow, that's great, isn't it? Because I did sort of like wonder. I also like the idea that each of the panels that are on the TARDIS, the control panel, it's supposed to be controlled by more than one person. So there's supposed to be a person on each of these monitors that do this. That was an interesting thing. It was like, oh, no. So that's why he's running around like a blue-ass fly and doesn't know where he's going, because he's supposed to be monitoring this and that and the other, and you're supposed to have an individual person at all these things. It's supposed to be like a science console steered by about 6 people. Right? He's doing it by himself because he's nicked it, hasn't he? He's nicked the damn thing. And he's nicked one that's broken as well. So that was interesting as well. These are all ideas that made you go, so he's in a broken, rickety old thing that basically he's got no parts to fix it. Stupid things like springs are breaking. He's got no things like mercury or anything to make. He's got no parts. It's like, who in their right mind sets off into the universe and doesn't have a few parts kicking about? Like the odd lens for a camera or something. Or he's got nothing, has he? Right? So it's all that sort of thing, But my mind was blown when Tom Baker was explaining to Lena. Says, "Here's a thing, right? Here's 2 boxes, right?" And he puts one over the far side, brings them and says, "Now which one's bigger?" And she goes, "Well, that one." And he goes, "No, you see, it's that." But if you can keep that one in that distance and this one in the same at the same time. That's the reason why you can fit in. And Lena turns around and says, "That's silly." He goes, "No, that's trans-dimensional thinking."
Brilliant.
And I'm going, well, that's the sort of thing. You see what I mean? These people that are watching this Doctor Who now, that their brains are not being sort of like exercised. Is the word. I suppose. You know what I mean?
We miss all that stuff.
Anyway, I suppose I spent too long on this question.
No, it's all right. So Tony's continuing about the Doctor. He has that quirky appeal. Would be an interesting choice. I don't know. Interesting.
I just think I think he's more a comedian, and I think they need somebody with a bit more pathos.
All right. I was going on about Discovery at one bit. And Rocket Bunny kind of again. He says, "I stopped watching Discovery mid-episode in the 3rd series.
Right.
After seeing the limp-wristed alien captain spend 10 minutes telling Tilly how wonderful she was and that she could be number 1." I know what you mean. You kind of summed that up. That's kind of show it was.
This is Star Trek Discovery.
Because I was going on about a rant about Star Trek.
What you mean, Star Trek Academy?
Yeah, all that stuff what's happening, why them keep messing it up. And I did the thing, as I said, about that they put it on free on YouTube, and it didn't get many views. This was in America, not here in this country. And somebody, as a joke, put a chair with a figure of Spock on it, and that got more views than the free Academy episode. What can you say? Actually, I think they put 2 on. I think there may have been 2 pilot episodes together of this Academy. But yeah, it's
Discovery. Now, it's interesting about Discovery because I've got them all. Don't get me wrong, but that's just because I bought the steel books of them.
Yeah,
but I didn't think it started very strong and it got worse. That's the problem for me. It was an interesting first season, but I had problems with it. With this, I mean, it started off, if I remember rightly, with these Klingons, didn't it? And they were trying to get back to being what they were, or something, weren't they?
I'm trying to remember. I've got it was that.
And they had this creature on board that basically could warp speed them into different parts of the planet because it was being imprisoned or something as part of their energy.
Yeah, I vaguely remember that. Yeah.
And by the time I got to midway through the second or towards the end of the second season, I was drained. And it's sort of similar with Strange New Worlds. I thought the first season was very strong. Very strong. It had a couple of episodes that I thought were pretty shitty, but I thought for 10 episodes, I could actually turn around and say 6 or 7 of them were all right.
Yeah.
2 of them were outstanding, as outstanding as you can be in modern day Star Trek.
In modern Trek, right?
But then from the second season onward, the singing and what's all this bollocks? I mean, I can't imagine. I mean, I know that even Star Trek, the original, the original series had out there at moments with them singing, I don't know, Tweedledum and Tweedledee, and making them like they were under control and they were like puppets and all of this sort of stuff. And there was the odd crappy episode, but for every crappy episode, there was episodes like A Mock Time.
But there weren't that many crappy episodes. Maybe 3rd season.
No, but I can't imagine William Shatner going around singing Rocket Man or something in an episode.
No.
Do you know what I mean?
But I mean, the very thought of these musical episodes just makes me just think, why? I never liked it when they did it in Buffy, to be honest. I know a lot of people enjoyed the Buffy episode, but to me, I don't want singing episodes. I don't want musicals. I just want and I know they're trying something different, but it's been done. You don't need to do a musical episode.
Yeah.
They're doing a puppet one, aren't they, apparently, in Strange New Worlds next.
No, like I said, I haven't. It's one of those things where I haven't even watched. No, I've watched 1 episode of the 3rd season.
Yeah. Actually, I'm same. I've stopped buying them. I know you're a collector and have to complete things, but I thought, well, I'm not going to ever watch these.
Well, I think Strange New Worlds has the possibility of actually improving back to the 3rd season because
it hasn't finished yet, has it? It's still going.
If you watched the first season and you thought it was that strong, then you think to yourself, there's a possibility that they'll get the tone back to that because they did it once. But the problem with something like Starfleet Academy is you've got some ideas, but it's not going to work for me because it's not aimed at me. I know instantly.
We forget as well. It reflects the people.
You've got the ship's doctor. You've got the ship's doctor. That's a plus. You got Paul Giamatti. That's a plus. But he actually wanted to be in it. That's the first thing. 2, he wanted to be a baddie, and they said yes, you can, right? But the trouble is, he's only in it for about 5 or 10 minutes, which is another downside. You got Helen Hunt in it. Is it Helen Hunt?
Holly Hunter.
Holly Hunter, that's it. Holly
Yeah.
Hunter.
Yeah,
Who's
they
I think
considered it a coup.
who should be a good choice, but she's not.
Yeah, that's right.
Right? And the story is about finding some mum.
Yeah.
Well, if you've got a story that starts off that week, what? So you're not looking for a rift in time that might be destroying the whole universe.
Yeah.
You've got some bloke who's looking for his mum.
Yeah.
Well, bloody hell, you might as well set the whole thing in San Francisco then and just look for her on the streets or something, right? Because it's just not powerful enough a story.
No. And you've got no threat. Often it's good when you've got a threat going on in the background. You haven't got that, have you?
When you consider that Enterprise had that super weapon that came to Earth and it scorched a bloody laser hole
or whatever it was, Zindi. Yeah, you had all that stuff, and that was brilliant.
You're going what? So we've only just learned to be at warp speed. We've got weapons that basically are the our tractor beam is ropes and stuff with sort of like the same sort of like hooks on it that you'd have trying to kill Orca the killer whale, right? Because they fired them and it had ropes coming out of it, didn't it? When it was hitting the
Earth,
drag them in. When you're talking about that sort of like, wow, you ain't gonna last 15 seconds if all you've got is a pea shooter and these people are firing bloody photon torpedoes at you. Right, you got no bloody chance.
Yeah.
Right? You're going to get a bloody nose. That's what you're going to get, and that's what made it great because you knew that they were on the back foot as soon as they launched off.
Yeah.
And there's this weapon that's coming along that could basically blow a hole into the core of the planet and blow it up.
Yeah.
Why they wanted to do that, I don't know. I can't remember the story, but. You see, even Voyager had we're stuck this many light years away.
That's right. It had
right, and then they come across a race that had tunnels that they'd mapped out. That they could actually get to the Alpha Quadrant in a heartbeat because
the Borg enemy in it as well? I've forgotten what they're
called. They had an enemy that was as strong as the Borg.
Yes, yeah. I mean, all that was great stuff. Wonderful.
And then they had that fantastic 2-part episode where a bloke was going along, and because he lost his wife, he was blowing up planets to try and get his wife back, turn back time, didn't he?
Yes. Yeah.
It was called the year-long.
That's right. I remember that one. Yeah. Great, some great stuff.
That's the sort of forward thinking I want.
Yeah, but at the moment, you're not going to get
not this Klingon stuff that's so young that he's got a pimple on his nose or something.
Yeah,
I don't want any of that shit.
Now, what do you think Klingons should be? They're warriors.
Yeah,
they don't go around crying and moaning.
I don't want a Klingon that needs to work out whether he needs to put some blusher and rouge on or something.
Exactly. You want somebody who's yeah, exactly. And look,
I can't come out at the moment because I'm putting my lipstick on.
Right, I know that's not a warrior, and then Tony says, "Do you mean the tall, slim guy, Rocket?" I don't know. And then Tony wasn't keen on that character. In Discovery, yes, an extremely weak character in my view. Rocket Bunny says. Tony says agreed, and then Si says there's another annoying thing that I can't stand in today's world. No strong baddies, not since Thanos in Avengers. Everything since is a weak, slack jaw idiot. That's an interesting point as well. Baddies. That's a good point. Yeah.
Thanos. Well, it's an interesting thing about Thanos because he wasn't shown when he was originally a character. He was in Iron Man, believe it or not, Thanos, and he wasn't this celestial being. But that's the problem, you see, when you introduce in a very early stage cosmic elements into a team that's on the planet Earth, and they're coming to you. It's what you do about it. And you see, I don't think the baddies are not the bad thing. It's how they're written. The baddies. Do you see what I mean? Thanos was badass because he was written well. Galactus is a great baddie. Trouble is, he was written wrong. Wasn't, you know? I told you before, Ian, when Galactus was shown there, and some people were turning around and saying, why is Galactus not blowing them out of the sky when they reached his craft? I turned around and said, because you got to think of Galactus like we're all wasps. Do you go out looking for a wasp nest? If a wasp is buzzing around you, you just flick it out of the way because it ain't going to kill you. You just go, can't be asked. Fucking thing, just swat it away. Right? That's what. So when the Fantastic Four pull up and they park next to this ship, he's not bothered about it because they're gnats. I don't give a shit. You know what I mean? It's like that. That's good writing, but the trouble is Galactus was written wrong. He should never have put all his eggs in one basket and said, I'm going to go for this planet because Franklin Richards is on the planet. And he's got this cosmic thing inside him that would mean that I could devour him or use him, and I wouldn't need to go around looking for planets anymore. You know that you could come back at any time. I'll come back in 10 years. You know what I mean? That's how bad the story is, because you know anybody with an element of ideas or thoughts would just turn around and say, I could come back anytime. Come back in a year. They're not gonna be able to come up with anything to destroy me in 1 year's time. In fact, they didn't destroy him. They sent him packing in another part of the universe, which would take him forever to get back or something, right? Bad story writing, that, really.
Yeah.
So in regards to Thanos, he was written well. You know what I mean? That's how I look at Thanos. But I was never an Avengers person anyway. Spider-Man's my character. That's why I like the Green Goblin.
Yeah.
He's written to be he mentally challenges you. It's like, by the way, I know who you are, I know where you live, and everybody around you don't know who you are. So I know that I've got your Achilles heel.
Yeah.
I'll do whatever I need to do now because I know that bit of information.
Yeah.
Right? That's good story writing. That's something where you go, shit. So this person may not be as strong as him, but he can't do anything because one wrong move and he just has to go to the press and say, by the way, Peter Parker's Spider-Man. Oh, shit.
Yeah. Yeah.
Aunt May will have a heart attack. Mary Jane will bugger off. All of that sort of stuff. Do you see what I mean? That's storytelling.
Yeah. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Right. Let's have a look. Tony says, and yet in so-called real life, we have very strong baddies. Donald Trump, anyone?
Yeah, right.
Don't mention Greenland. Favorite? This is Wee Bob Art. Favorite Ali Berry movie? Let me think.
That's a difficult one.
Let me think.
Because didn't she win an Oscar for something called
Monsters Ball?
Monsters Ball, wasn't it?
Yeah.
I remember Swordfish, but that wasn't a great Halle Berry film. She was in a Bond. She was a Bond person. That wasn't a great film. Wasn't there one where she was blind?
Yes, I think there is.
Sort of a thriller horror type. Horror type.
Yeah. There's one I liked, which was she was a call she's in a call thing and somebody's calling her and telling that they've seen somebody in a back of a truck, and that's quite good. She's been directing how to, for this person to discover what's happening, like somebody's been kidnapped. I think that's The Call, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, I know this is controversial, and I know it's not a good film, but I enjoyed it, and which is Catwoman. I know a lot of people really hate Catwoman and say it's the biggest pile of dough and whatever in the thing. I don't think it's as bad as people. I think I enjoyed it, and I thought
it's one of those films that I'm not a big DC person. You see,
yeah. A lot of people didn't like some of the stuff in it, how she transformed into Catwoman, and
but it isn't. I mean, it's got Sharon Stone in it, hasn't it?
Yes, yeah. Now that's interesting because a lot of people forget that Sharon Stone is the villain in it, and
it wasn't she something to do with being young and makeup or something?
That's right. Yeah, but I don't think it gets a lot of bad reputation, but I don't think it's as bad. I can think of a hell of a lot worse films, and she's all right in it. You know,
I mean, she's awful in that comedy film 42. Is it?
Oh, I'm not seeing that.
Yeah, she's playing. She's with Stephen Merchant, and they go to dinner together, and they one up each other, and they draw.
I've not seen that. Yeah, didn't sound very.
Apparently, I mean, the film is absolutely atrocious.
I'd avoid that one. Yeah,
that's atrociously bad.
I can't think of it.
But we want good, don't we? I can't.
But there's that horror one, but I don't know what it's called. Where is it in some sort of wood with a son? Something like that.
Yeah, she's been in a couple of thriller horror type things. I know that there've been a couple, and I think somebody actually showed a DVD once, said nobody talks about this, and it's a very early Halle Berry film. I can see the case, and I can't think what the name of it is.
Yeah,
just trying to think.
And she's in one of the superheroes, isn't she? Of course, in Marvel. So is she? Isn't she? Am I wrong there? Or is it in DC?
She's in DC film.
Yeah, DC. Which one does she play? See, I'm not very up on
Catwoman. You've even said it, Catwoman.
Oh, I thought she plays somebody else.
Here we go. So I'm cheating here. So I'm looking. Yeah, Monsters Ball, Catwoman. Yeah, Die Another Day. Yeah, we've said Swordfish. We've got the major ones.
Yeah.
John Wick 3. I didn't know that.
Yeah, really? John Wick 3?
The Call is what you were talking about.
Yeah, that's it. The Call. Yeah, that one's quite good. It's a good idea.
Crime 101 is one that's coming out this year. Never Let Go. That was last year. The Flintstones. Yeah, I remember her in that.
Ah, the Flintstones. God, I haven't seen that for.
Oh, Gothica. Yeah.
Oh,
yeah, she is in. She has been in X-Men. She was Storm, weren't she? Of course she was.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. Storm. I knew she was in some superhero thing. Yeah.
Yeah. Movie 43. I've already talked about. The Last Boy Scout. Oh, there you go. That's an all right one. Kingsman. I don't remember her in Kingsman. Yeah, Their Eyes Were Watching. That's what I've seen.
Right.
Bulworth. Oh, was she in Bulworth? Okay. Kings. I don't recognize some of these.
No.
Things like, here's some of the titles. Look, Wicky's Pain, don't know that. New Year's Eve, don't know that. Maud versus Maud, don't know that.
No.
Why Do Fools Fall in Love, don't know that.
Don't know that. No.
Solomon and Sheba, don't know that.
Is that this historical one, or is that?
Well, it's 1995, and it looks like
I mean, it's a film, a historical one. Yeah.
Yeah.
You would have thought so.
Losing Isaiah. I think I've heard of that one. She's in a lot of John Wicks. She's been in every one.
Do you know, I didn't know that at all.
Yeah, Gothica comes to mind as being
Gothica's one.
That's one that I would probably say. Yeah, that's what I consider to be a good. Film.
Yeah. It's a good one. That one. Yeah.
But we already mentioned Monsters Ball, so
yeah.
I mean, she started out the gate, didn't she? Out the gate, really.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, everybody knows Swordfish because she got her boobs out.
Yeah,
There
yeah,
you go.
yeah. Didn't that get an upgrade this year or some edition?
There's a 4K
Yeah,
of it.
yeah, that's it. I thought I'd seen it around. Yeah, and it's got old John
I mean,
Travolta.
she's a statuesque woman. She's tall. She's
Yeah,
she's proportioned well. That's
yeah.
why she was a Bond girl coming out of the water.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? That's
That
that's
was
why
quite
you have her, isn't it?
unforgettable. That was a sort of tribute, wasn't it, to Ursula Andress in the
Yeah,
original.
it's a throwback.
No, yeah, yeah. She did it well.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, she did that well. Right. Let's have a look. Then Sisa, every time I see Donald Trump on TV, the Imperial March music plays in my head. Oh dear.
I have funny moments like that,
Yeah,
where I swear there was an actor, and every time an actor came on, the theme to Rent-A-Ghost kept playing in my head. I don't know what I can't remember what the actor was. It was just this one. That sort of thing does happen in my head as well. Why is it that it's a bit like the Fall and Rise of Reginald Perrin. Every time you mention the mother-in-law, a hippo would go across the screen.
Yeah.
Amazing what your head does.
Yeah. And Rocket Bunny says, really, sorry, I always hear the clown circus music myself. Yeah, we'll laugh at that one. And then Tony says, today's performance at Davros, Davos, was a real corker, incoherent rambling, lies and fabrications. Good for a laugh at least, probably a funny than a lot of stand-up comedians. You're probably right. Yeah.
By the way, Muckman Movies made an interesting point. Apparently, Halle Berry's only 5'5". I didn't know that. I thought she always looks tall to me. You know what?
It's amazing what the
probably heels. I get that. Yeah. I'm sorry, I got that wrong.
Yeah.
I know he likes pointing out things. I get.
Yeah.
I seriously, I don't look at the stats for her. I mean, I don't know her bust size. I don't know what size, what pants she wears, or But in my mind, she looks statuesque coming out of that water. She's got legs that go all the way up to her neck. I just think of her as tall then.
Yeah. Seriously, how can anyone who loses out on a Nobel Peace Prize want to start a war?
Oh, that Nobel Peace Prize. That was all in the news, wasn't it?
Yeah. Rocket Bunny. Oh, yeah, Tony, priceless. These days, you wonder who is more crazy, him, Putin, or Xi Jinping?
Oh, Jinping, yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's a nut as well. Yeah. I've seen a few interviews of mainly US experts saying something is wrong mentally with him.
Yeah.
It wouldn't surprise me. One guy reckoned the oil from Venezuela will be sold and the money paid into an account he holds personally in Qatar for the benefit of him and his family. Well, it sounds like a lot of politicians.
Well, somebody actually turned around and said, I don't know what it is, but I'm surprised Donald Trump's still alive because the food that he eats.
Oh, yeah.
Somebody made this comment, I think, last week or something. Said the food that he eats, I'm surprised he ain't had a heart attack yet.
Yeah.
And when it comes to his legacy, Christ, all this, I'm surprised he hasn't gone and said, right, we're going to abolish inheritance tax because I'm going to die next year, so I'm going to let my son have all my money. So there you are.
Yeah.
They can have my estate and all of that sort of stuff.
Hasn't his son got political ambitions as well?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, God. So they want to follow a dynasty of the Trump family. But I think that is it Vance? He's quite ambitious, isn't he? I suspect he'll go up as the next candidate.
I used to call him Donald Duck because it was Donald Trump. I used to get the names mixed up. Donald Duck. Oh, Donald Trump. Yeah.
Donald Trump. Donald Duck is Quackers.
East Crackers, yeah.
Yeah.
That was a good joke, actually. East Crackers.
I was hoping somebody might.
So then you'd have Donald Duck Jr., wouldn't you?
Yeah.
No, for his son.
Oh dear. No, it's interesting. Rocket Bunny says, with regard to Strange New Worlds, I really enjoyed the first series. The second series was a scam, though. In the first 4 episodes, our lead character, Pike, has more minutes of screen time.
He has mere minutes of screen time.
Yeah, as mere minutes of screen time. By the time we get later in the series with singing Klingons, oh dear, it becomes a real struggle to watch. I've seen the more comedic third series trailers. I'm like that Picard meme with my head in my hand. Yeah, and we know.
This is what I was saying. It was a strong first season, and then when it came to the second season and you had singing, I just went, "Fuck this."
No singing. You can't.
Apparently, in the third season, you've got the whole of the crew are suddenly turning into Vulcans. They've got big ears and weird haircuts and all sorts of stuff. I'm going, what sort of store is this?
Oh dear! And Starfleet Academy just looks the worst you could ever see it. It's just not Star Trek. You know, there was a picture, and you have this like big, fat. She looked like a lesbian character. And
all right.
You had this other alien who looked really fat. And I thought, oh, perhaps they're trying to show that, you know, they were sort of, that we include fat people. It's taking everything to a whole new level of inclusivity. They've got to include every kind of thing in it. It's crazy. Absolutely crazy. And then Rocket Bunny says, all the talk of new Doctor Who is around another female one. So don't hold your breath anymore. Traditional approach without Davis. I think Who needs a break, to be honest. But from what I've heard, so we'll continue, is that he's not going to be choosing the new Doctor. We just hope they get a new showrunner. It'll be a producer, whatever you want to call them.
You can explain away Billy Piper being in it again.
Yeah, it could just
apparently there's one theory where she looked into the TARDIS console and she took she was the most powerful person in the world because she killed all the Daleks at one point just by snapping her fingers because she took the essence of the TARDIS console, the whole TARDIS stream, into her. So when you consider that Peter Capaldi was actually an episode of a Pompeii episode.
Yeah, he was,
and apparently the Doctor remembered that person and turned into him as an image. Then so you could say that all you saw with the regeneration was just her appear for a second. Because that's the memory of changing. Changing. Doesn't necessarily mean that's the person you're going to be turning into.
No, it could regenerate again. You could do all sorts.
Well, it's just going through a cycle of changing into something else.
Yeah. They can get around it. I think they can get around it.
That's the good thing about science fiction is you can explain things away. You can make things look really bad, but then actually it turns into something really good.
Yeah, you could do something with it. Yeah, that's as you said. That's right. It's not normal drama, normal life where you can't explain it. You can just come up with some explanation. That's a great thing about science fiction. Rocket Bunny. We need the BBC to go through its license-free removal transformation. We need a more centrist, right-wing government and attitudes to come back to the middle when we have a new balanced Who. The TV license is, once that goes, the BBC, it's got to change. It's got to change. That will happen.
This is what I've always said about the TV license. The TV license is an archaic format.
It is, yeah.
I've never understood that we've had satellite TV with scrambled images for years. And why is it that I'm paying for something just because I bought a telly that can pick it up?
Yeah.
I don't want to watch it, right? I'd rather buy episodes of something than go for a year of stuff, right? Because I don't watch EastEnders and Call the Midwife and all of this sort of stuff. If I was still interested in Doctor Who, I'd turn around and say, okay, so how much do I give you then for 10 episodes of Doctor Who then, right? And that'd be it, right? Just because I bought a telly from Dixon's doesn't mean I owe you £175 every bloody year, right? That don't make sense. That's where I turn around and say, you know, you've started along this line of an iPlayer. That's one way of looking at things. But you're asking us to pay for something that they say is a package, and it is a good package because you have got radio.
Yeah.
You know? I do listen to the radio. I listen to the radio because I go for a walk, and I just like listening to talk radio a lot, right? I don't listen to the music anymore. I listen to talk radio, like podcasts. So I mean, there is a thing called BBC Sounds where they talk about soundtracks.
Yeah.
By the way, they talked about Jerry Goldsmith this week.
Oh, there it is. Yeah. Yeah.
No, but it was interesting. Yeah. They haven't talked about him ever, and it's been going for 4 years. This soundtrack program.
Yeah.
Just to let you know, that's how rich talking about music is.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I mean? It would be like you having a podcast of the old grey whistle test being shown once a week. It would take you the same amount of time it took to show them originally, and by that point you'd be in your 90s.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
And at the end of the day. So that's great. I like episodic things like that. I can hold on another week to listen to the next one.
Yeah.
I don't have to have like all 10 episodes all streamed at me at the same time and then have to wait a year. I'll certainly wait 10 weeks to watch it all. Apparently this week they've started off another Game of Thrones spin-off series called The Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
All right.
It's only, believe it or not, it's 6 episodes long and they're half an hour each. I'm going, what? I mean, Game of Thrones was a phenomenon when it came out. I mean, it ended badly. Take it like this. But it was never half an hour.
No.
Is it because of money? Is that the reason? I don't know.
Yeah.
But apparently, it's this is what Game of Thrones as well used to be something that you couldn't watch other than each week. This thing, they showed the first one, and you could watch all 10 of them. You can watch all 6 of them. Sorry, what I'm going to say is, so when you're flipping through the channels, it's like these are half an hour long. The 6 of them, right? 3 hours of my life. I can watch all that. It's like watching a long film. Then you got to wait a year before they're going to show the next one.
Yeah, yeah.
No, it's one of those things where I'd like us to be able to watch things weekly. I like that.
Yeah. But I mean, one of the big things that now, I mean, my TV is like this. It's not plugged into an aerial. All I watch is sort of, it's a smart TV, so it's got apps on.
Yeah, but that's what I'm saying. The whole thing is so archaic. The thing is so archaic that even now, if you went into Curry's, if you went into Curry's and you bought a telly, they ask you for your email address, and they also take a note so that they can inform the BBC that you've got a device that can pick up the BBC.
Yeah,
and it's wrong. But that's that 60s and 70s mentality. We're in the 21st century now.
Yeah. Well, it's all going to come to a head eventually, anyhow.
2 years' time, and it's debated in the Commons.
Yeah. So
I think they will lose that battle this time.
Yeah, I think so. I think they've got to move into the new era of television. Yeah,
if all they've got is all they've got is iPlayer, they've got to help them.
But they've got the BBC have got one of the best archives in the world. That's what they ought to be working on. They could. People would love to watch so many of those programs they've got in that archive. But anyhow, so we've got Jamie here. Muckman Movies. Good evening, Abbott and Costello. Oh, well, thank you.
Well, if it's Abbott and Costello, I'm Costello.
Yeah, I'm Abbott. And then we've got Jamie said, "Evening, Tony."
Before we go any further, what did you think of Abbott and Costello?
Me? I used to watch when I was a child. I used to watch quite a bit on the TV. I liked them, but I know this. Well, I think you're in kind of an agreement maybe with me. I was always Laurel and Hardy, and as a duo, I always loved Laurel and Hardy, and therefore, when I saw Abbott and Costello, I thought, oh, they're fine, but I never loved them that much. They were all right. They were all right to watch, but on the other hand, the film. Abbott and Costello Meet Frankenstein is one of my all-time favorite films because you get all the Universal people coming back in it, and it's wonderful. That is absolutely wonderful. That is such a great film.
You see, the thing about Abbott and Costello for me is that it's very difficult for me to go back to the very first thing I heard about Abbott and Costello, because they are intermingled with Laurel and Hardy. But when you consider that if you were of that certain age, you'd know that Laurel and Hardy were sort of like finished and Abbott and Costello came later. And from that point of view, they were the natural people to sort of like, almost like Cannonball replacing Morecambe and Wise, or you know what I mean? It's like, it's after the fact, it's bringing something that's of that time, and it's past the prime of the team that was before. I remember the first time I heard Who's on First was on record, was on vinyl. I remember that because that's a famous sketch, Who's on First. I watched all the Universal ones because they were on BBC Two.
That's right.
That's where I saw those. I didn't even know Abbott and Costello had a TV show that lasted 2 seasons. Right? I even know the music to it. I can hear it playing in my head right now. Right. That's the music to Abbott and Costello show. And they were set on a street, and they were always being evicted from their apartment and all of this sort of stuff. And then later on, you learn that they didn't have a great relationship together. They fell out. And and then of course you hear of Costello's terrible death of his son drowning in a swimming pool.
Oh dear.
All of that sort of stuff, and you wonder to yourself, why isn't there a documentary more about them? There is one, like there's a Carpenter's film, and there's a film about John Denver. There is an Abbott Costello that was shown on a Hallmark channel that that had 2 famous sort of like people playing Abbott and Costello, but there hasn't been a modern day one. Like this week, by the way, there is a documentary that's being done at the moment about finding Stan and Ollie, right? And it's there's a big long trailer that's 12 minutes long, and it looks wonderful. I can't wait for it, right? Why isn't there one about Buster Keaton? And why isn't there one about, Abbott Costello? Like I say, I only know things because of what I read on Wiki and all of that sort of stuff, and it's itching to be made. Itching to be made.
Well, it might be. Who knows?
No,
it could happen.
Do it, are they?
Right, let's see what we've got here. Tony said, "Evening, Jamie," and then if they're Abbott and Costello, who's on first base? I don't know. And then Rocket Bunny says, "Evening, Muckman," and then Si says, hi, Muckman. And then Jamie, just finished watching I Swear. Bloody brilliant. Might just be my favourite film of last year. Oh, that's the, what do they call it? Where...
yeah, my friend Mainmeister came on. It's the Tourette's film.
That's it, Tourette's. The Tourette's film, yeah.
And when Mainmeister, his name's Alan, by the way.
Yeah.
When he mentioned it 6 months ago on his channel.
Yeah.
6 months ago. I saw that film and I went, "This is good," because it's sort of gritty. It's a little bit like what's that one set in a job centre where a bloke goes round? He goes in a job centre and he can't get a job, and it's all about the grittiness of how demoralising.
Yeah, I know. Daniel something.
Yeah, you know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So it's sort. I swear, sort of a bit like that. I look at it as being a little bit like that.
Yeah, it's the same writer, isn't it? I've forgotten his how hopeless at names, but it's the same when he does this kind of thing, doesn't he? It's sort of thing that he would write, and I'm sure.
And Jamie's come to the rescue again. It's Daniel Blake. That's it.
That's it. Yeah.
So, but I swear, it's not that film. Daniel Blake.
Yeah,
what I'm saying is, it reminds me of those types of films.
Yeah. Yeah. So Sai says, is I Swear the movie about the guy who had a documentary made on him in the 80s? I don't know.
I knew what the documentary was. I could probably tell you, but I just know that it's a good film.
Yeah. And then we got Ian. So Jamie saying, we mentioned this when we were just talking earlier, didn't we? Before we came on, did you enjoy Bone Temple, Si? I really enjoyed it. Better than 28 years later, the scene where Iron Maiden's Number of the Beast is playing over the top was mesmerizing. Yeah, a lot of people have been very positive about this film.
What did I say to you? I said to you, and I don't mind saying it. Jamie did a sort of a explanation of the film after it'd come out of the theatre. I thought it was wonderful. I like those types of things that are done by him. He knocked it out of the park with what he was saying about it. It made me want to go and watch it. That's what I do. I don't mind bigging up the guy.
Yeah,
he's a bastard anyway. He's a bastard. He knows that. But
there you are. You had to get that. No, he's a great guy, he's Jamie.
But he's great at what he does.
Yeah, he is. He is. He's very good. I can't do that. What he does. When he does his pickups for month, massive loads of pickups. He's very good at it. He's very good at it. And then we've got it's about the Scottish guy with Tourette's who brought it to the attention of the public and authorities. Yeah. And then Si says, I love Bone Temple. Who knew that Ralph Fiennes dancing to Duran Duran was missing from my life? Again, all I hear about it is just intriguing.
Would Ralph Fiennes make a good doctor?
Interesting. Yeah. Good shout. Yeah. And then they're laughing at there. And then Si says, I had a great weekend at the cinema. I watched, now this is another film, watched Marty Supreme.
Yeah, I've heard
Bone
good things
Temple,
about that.
and finished it off with a special screening of Battle Royale, one of the best cinema weekends I've had. Well, I'm really glad you enjoyed that. Marty Supreme I've heard a lot about as well. That keeps popping
Marty
up.
Supreme I've heard. Yeah. Bone Temple we've all heard of.
Yeah.
Battle Royale, I don't know if I've heard about that or not.
Isn't that the is it a Japanese one? It's a Japanese one, isn't it?
I'm not sure. Every time somebody puts Battle Royale, I think of wrestling. And I know it's not that.
Is it? It could be South Korean. It's either
it's probably
Japanese or South Korean.
Knowing Cy Robson, the bastard, he probably has gone and watched a Japanese film. He probably went for a Korean meal afterwards or something.
Yeah,
just to piss everybody off.
And then Jamie says, "Watched lots of great films this week. I watched a samurai film from 1966 called The Betrayal, which was incredible. That's good. Excellent, Jamie. And wow, sorry, that's a fantastic weekend at the cinema. All great films. Yeah, it is. So says, I really enjoyed Marty Supreme, a film set in 1952 to 52 to 3 with an amazing 80s synth soundtrack. It shouldn't work, but it did.
It shouldn't work. That when you explain it like that shouldn't work.
Yeah,
it should not work.
Yeah.
The only thing electronic was the femin or whatever it's called, that musical instrument with that they do in all the old science fiction films.
Yeah,
thermone, or I forgot what they call it now. Jesus, I couldn't spell it, but tried.
Yeah. We're back to Star Trek, but yes, Tony's now reminded me what the enemy was. Species 8472 or something like that. I think they were more powerful than the Borg Voyager.
Yeah,
I do remember that. Yeah. There we are. Watch Life of Chuck at the weekend. Really good with lots of rewatchable factor. Yeah, I've been going on about that. That's the one film I just absolutely fantastic. I'm glad you liked it, Jamie. It's a wonderful.
Wasn't it good? I showed that and said, look, I got somebody told me that this was a great film.
Yeah.
And it's based on Stephen King. And I'm looking forward to watching that. And then all of a sudden you've seen it.
Yeah.
And seen it.
Yeah.
It's sort of like
brilliant.
getting out there as being.
It's one of those that people didn't really mention much last year. I think maybe because the way it came out at the beginning of this year on physical media, and it sort of got missed, I think, a bit last year. So I'll include it in this year's because that's when I got it, even though it's got a release last year. But yeah. It's rewatchable is the word. You can. I've already watched it a few times already.
Yeah, I've seen it twice.
Yeah, it's a good film. It really is a good film. It'll be in my list of films of this year, even though it's from last year. Marty Supreme is my top 5 of 2025. It's an intense film with a lot of energy. The 2.5 hour running time flew by. Well, that's great. I mean, if it's flying by for 2.5 hours, then that is great.
That's always a good sign, isn't it?
Yeah. Oh, I think that Mark Hamill has been robbed of awards for his performance in Life of Chuck. In my honest opinion,
he was good.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Yeah,
he was good.
Yeah,
and of course it's Oscar nominations tomorrow.
Yeah. Oh, you never know. You never know. But I bet.
No, he won't be in that.
Yeah. It'll
all be the same. It'll be all the same. Same.
Yeah. I probably wouldn't know anybody.
I won't. I won't.
Yeah. So it says I put Marty Supreme at my number 2 slot for 2025. Yes. Well, again, one battle after another. I'm seriously obsessed with that film. Is that up on the Oscars? I would imagine that's a film that's talked about a lot.
One battle after another will be in the Oscar nominations. Yeah.
It's got DiCaprio in, so
yeah, that's what I'm saying. That'll be mentioned.
Yeah. Jamie says, I watched another Japanese film from 1966 called Irizumi, about a woman who is kidnapped, tattooed, and exploited as a geisha. A film of deceit, lust, and revenge. Really good. No, your description sounds really good. You made that sound a really good film.
See what I mean? He's just too good, the bastard, isn't he?
Yeah, I know. Irizumi.
Yeah, could you bugger off now? You're making us look bad. Even in text format.
Yeah. Joe says Marty Supreme was my number 3. But we'll slide to number 4 after seeing I Swear Tonight. And of course, there's loads of films to come this year, so it could slide even further. You bet. There's loads of great films to come, yeah. Now, Jamie says, favorite Ali Berry film? The Last Boy Scout. You mentioned that, didn't you? She isn't in it long, but because she gets shot near the beginning. Oh well, thank you.
I only mentioned it because I was cheating and reading out the stuff because I mentioned the ones that I could remember.
Yeah.
But it was Gothica in the end that I went with.
Which is a great film. Yeah. Oh yeah. I've never seen this, but this is mentioned a lot. This Cloud Atlas.
Yeah.
Which she's out in that, Ali Berry, an underrated.
The Wachowski brothers.
Yeah. That's a. There's a lot in that, isn't there, people? X-Men Storm. That's the one. Yeah.
I forgot all about that.
Yeah, Storm. Cool. Yeah. I'm going to watch a film called Dead Lover in Stinkervision. It's a horror about a gravedigger, and you're given a scratch sniff card before the film starts. I'm guessing it's going to stink.
Well, if you listen to my blog, and I don't mean to keep bringing it up, but
it's all right.
I was talking about text adventures. And back in the day, Infocom brought out a game called Leather Goddesses of Phobos. And inside the packaging, there was a scratch card in it. And when you went into this room, it said scratched circle number 1, right? And all you did was you scratched it off, you sniffed it, went, oh, Jesus Christ, what's that? You hit return on the keyboard, it said, you just walked into a room full of farts, you bastards. That's how it was. So that's how Stinkervision needs to work. And I can imagine that working really quite well. I think they've done it once before, like they used to do with 3D glasses. I think they've tried to do that, and I think it worked out too expensive. But of course, I've still got the game Leather Goddesses.
Yeah.
But the card is those smells would have dried up years ago.
They would. Yeah.
Nothing will work with that. It's got a shelf life.
No.
Yeah, that sounds really good. That Dead Lover.
Yeah. Anyhow, before I forget, it's my usual shout out for Delboy.
Oh no,
Delboy! He's great. He's here every week. Puts up with me going on and wittering away. But
I put up with you. You put up with me.
I've put the link to his channel, and if you're not subscribed, well, why not? You need to be subscribing. It's a great channel.
Hey, that's my line. I use that in my blog.
But it is, honestly, his blog is fantastic. I absolutely love his blog. It's about his life, and it's just fantastic. Some weeks it's on the upbeat, sometimes it's not. It's like life. It's exactly reflects life. It's grilling, but he's also in the gaming community. And he does a lot of game stuff, which I don't understand, but he's doing all these game run-throughs, and they look good. I did actually look at one, and it looked interesting. But he's talking away about going through these games, and it's all there. It's great channel. So I put the link. Just click the link and subscribe, and why not? There you are.
Why not? What, you're Barry Norman now?
Yeah.
No, thank you very much to anybody that does watch it.
Yeah, I said the link is in the bottom, so just click it if you're not subscribed.
I did a couple of live streams actually this week.
Yeah, you see, he does all sorts.
No, it was just a friend of mine bought me a game, and he's a git as well, the bastard. Right. And I don't like it when somebody does something like that without me turning around and saying, do you know what? Thanks very much for buying me this game. I'm now going to show the world what he bought me, right? And I put it on and all that sort of stuff. And I needed to test my PC and work out whether live streams work because I've had a few microphone issues. By the way, nobody has mentioned today whether they've got my microphone going in and out or not. So I take it everything's fine at last. So it's one of those things, and I really enjoyed doing because all it was that I've decided I've got an hour before I go to bed. I think I'll put the recorder on and I'll play a game. Somebody else can watch if they want. And I looked back the next day and 49 people had watched it. For what? Me just playing around on a game. I didn't even know what to say. I walked up to this guy. He started talking to me, and I said, "Yeah, come on then, you bastard. What are you going to tell me then today?" Oh, look, yeah, I've heard that story before. Yeah, likely story. Yeah, yeah. You want me to go and do a job, do you? Oh, yeah. Give me some cash then. Come on. And I just said all that sort of rubbish, while I was playing the game. And there you go. Amazing what you can do on YouTube. Do any old rubbish. People will watch it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Okay, so we'll go on to the next comment. A best performance, Monsters Ball, which she won an Oscar for. Yeah, Ali Berry and that. Yeah. Oh yeah, and Weebo out says Gothica is one of my wife's favorite movies. Fantastic. And then Muckman movies. Ali Berry is only 5'5". Yeah, you said that, Delboy. So there. I could only bear to listen to Trump's verbal diarrhea for about 5 minutes today. I had to turn him off. I'm sure a lot of people turned him off. Yeah, but Del is only 5'7". Oh, right, there you are. He was getting Greenland mixed up with Iceland today, apparently. That wouldn't surprise me. It wouldn't surprise me. And then, trouble is, if they impeach Trump, then Vance will step up and take his place, which could be even worse, as he's even more extremist. I see what you mean. Yeah, there is. And then, Turner, at least you can laugh at Donald Trump, but J.D. Vance looks quite evil, in my opinion. Yeah, and then they ought to give him Iceland. He's probably not known that the difference between it and Greenland. He wouldn't.
Yeah, he probably thinks it's a shop.
Yeah. Oh dear. The American Brexit.
Somebody will say, do you want Iceland? Yeah, you can have it. Yeah, okay. All right. Good, free delivery. I could do with some frozen. I could do with some frozen pizzas.
Yeah.
The odd gatto.
Sai says, have you seen South Park parody of Donald Trump?
That got banned, didn't it?
They made them look like the two guys from Fantasy Island. The plane, the boss.
The plane, boss. It's the plane. It's the plane.
Yeah.
That got banned, didn't? Well, they were going to get sued, didn't they, if they didn't take it off?
Oh dear. All Trump deserves is the
middle finger.
Yes. I mean, how the hell can you get away with saying "fuck you" to a factory worker and then give him the he's a world leader, for fuck's sake? He acts like a child. Yeah. He dropped his threat of the 10% tariff. He's a man who can't make up his diseased mind. My wife knows the dad of Egg in Night of the Seven Kingdoms.
Yeah.
All right.
Egg is a character, by the way.
Oh, right. Oh, that's good. Yeah.
I've seen the first. Like I said, I saw the first episode on Monday.
Yeah.
But I didn't go down the route of watching them all after this.
No.
I'll wait till next week to watch
them. I forgot that started this week with Bob. Did you catch it? And then we've got
Sandy.
Yeah, Sandy. Hello, everyone. Can you see this? Yes. Ask him, because I know 3 people whose comments are always blocked here. No, we don't block anybody.
No, we can see it. We don't block anything.
We can see it. Yeah. Oh, welcome. Isn't The Sunshine Boys a film based on Abbott and Costello?
That might be what it was called, that thing that I'm talking about. I can't remember. But The Sunshine Boys, yeah. I think it is.
Yeah.
There is a film that's like on the Hallmark Channel that's got 2 famous comedians playing Abbott and Costello.
Yeah.
Shows the life. The Sunshine Boys is an actual film, I think, based around loosely that life. If I remember rightly, I'm not sure. That's an 80s or 90s film.
Yeah. And then Sai says, hi, Sandy. And can see you, Sandy, Tony says. Sai says, hi, Sai. Rob says, hello, thanks for that. And then, hi, Daniel Blake. I knew Jamie would come out. He knows his stuff. Sandy, Daniel Blake showed how our government are killing off the disabled. Yeah, it was all to do with that job centres forcing him and all that stuff. And then, Jim Jam. Hi, Alana. Hello, Jamie. James, sorry. How are you doing, lad? Yeah.
He had a mini rant the last time that I watched.
He did about World of Books. Did you see that as well? They just sent an envelope with nothing in.
Well, this is the thing. When I saw it, I wondered whether, because you can't see the glue that stuck at the bottom. It looked like it fell out or something. But again, why bother delivering it? Why don't you just report it and say, look, that's dropped out. Don't know where it happened. It might have been it might have fell out walking along the street. Why are we going to be?
I agree. I mean, why the post office are just as bad, aren't they? Why deliver that?
I think with something like that, I looked at it and I went, do you know what? This is a 50-50 split for me, because World of Books would piss me off if they said, by the way, it's out of stock.
Yeah.
To me, it's out of stock. I can see 2 on there, but this is the problem with eBay. It's if you think of things as being like a stock control system, how far behind is eBay before the system catches up with itself and says, right, I've still got
it's way behind. I think you're right.
So you have to look at it like that and go, eBay is not a stock control program, right? You have to understand they will refund you and tell you, there's, we're out of stock on it.
Yeah.
Royal Mail got no apologies. I mean, how you could deliver an empty bag.
It's ridiculous, yeah.
I mean, if that turned up with the glue gone and it was actually open.
Yeah.
But you can have envelopes with next to nothing in them.
Yeah, you can. You might have a very thin piece.
But I think you can see clearly if you just go like that, you can see the ends open up, so what was the point?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous.
So I think it's a 50-50 split on that.
Yeah.
Right to point it out, though.
I think he's right. He was right to do that. And then we got it's a great movie, I swear. Sander, Ian and Del, what was the last black and white film you watched?
You watched one this week.
Drivers, I think. No, The Criminal. No, sorry, it was this film. That was the last one. I've done it in order. That was the last one. This political one with Peter Finch. My Love for Johnny. No Love for Johnny. Sorry, No Love for Johnny. Because they were all black and white ones. All the Stanley Baker ones, all black and white.
Last night I watched The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Oh, classic.
Absolutely. I did at the end of last week watch Dam Busters.
Yeah.
Because I got an itching to watch a war film.
Yeah.
And it's funny because as soon as I watched Dam Busters, what was on over the weekend? 633 Squadron was on.
Yeah.
Right? But that's not black and white. But 633 Squadron was on.
Yeah.
That reminded me of all of the great Ron Goodwin soundtracks. Yeah. I mean, that's got an incredible main theme. 633.
Yeah, it has.
Amazing. So, and then of course I watched 2 episodes of the Outer Limits.
Yeah.
Which is TV, I know, but
yeah.
Oh, of course, somebody's just mentioned. I did watch that as well. Schindler's List was on BBC 2. This week. It's amazing. I was going through the channels, and it's something like that always happens, right?
Yeah.
I'll have missed the first 20 minutes, but I know exactly what's gone on, so I just continue to watch it.
Yeah.
Always happens.
We get this sort of people do ask this quite a bit, but to me, there's no difference. I just watch films, and black and white films are just as good as color films. It
annoys me when somebody turns around. It annoys me when somebody turns around and says, "I won't watch a film if it's in black and white." What?
Exactly.
Hell, what?
Stupid. It is, and they get annoyed if somebody makes a modern filmmaker makes a film in black and white. They get annoyed, but why not?
I mean, we've talked about Laurel and Hardy a lot tonight, right?
Yeah.
And I want to now go away and watch The Music Box.
Yeah.
Because it's my all-time favorite Laurel and Hardy short.
That's good. Get it in. Watch it.
You know what I mean? I just love that. I could watch that, and I just hilarious. Them trying to get that piano up them stairs, and I visited those stairs. I've actually been to Los Angeles.
Wow, fantastic!
Steps. Bloody tall steps.
Yeah, I'm waiting.
Not as tall as I thought it was. I thought it was good. I thought it went up for miles. Exactly. It's all camera angles, but it's still tall. Still like you're out of breath when you get to the top.
You said in your loft, you've got all these things that you'd filmed. So I'm waiting for one day so that we can see some of these.
But I went to Universal and basically I was in the Star Trek Adventure.
Yeah, look.
That's a 25-minute where they superimpose you into a story that was purposely made. The only thing that was new in it was they had DeForest Kelley do these new bits. Otherwise, it's clips from Star Trek 2 and 3, right? Yeah. Superimposed. All you're doing is talking to a tennis ball.
Yeah.
And they even put the script on the wall, and you just face that way and talk. And then they give you the video afterwards, and you're in the start. You're the commander on the Enterprise.
Fantastic.
You know, you have to do all this rocking about as if you were being hit by photon torpedoes.
Yeah.
All of this sort of stuff.
Yeah. Oh, great stuff. And then we've got Tony saying, "Evening, James. I know it wasn't funny for you, but I had a laugh at Ron Mayer posting an empty envelope too. I know it's unbelievable." And then I Sunday, I Jim Jam, and then Battle Royal is Japanese. There you are. I knew it was South Korean or Japanese.
He's only corrected me because I said Korean or something.
Yeah.
He's being a git, a bastard.
Hunger Games, but a more brutal way. Yeah. I've never seen Hunger Games films. Never seen them. I've never seen them. And then I Rocket Bunny, Sunny Seas, and then so says Battle Royale is a Japanese film where a class of school children are put on an island and must fight to the death. Last one standing, bloody action. Oh, crikey! It sounds interesting. Yeah,
sounds like that. Sounds like that battle royale in Kill Bill 1.
Oh yeah,
everybody with the swords coming at her.
I would imagine Tarantino was influenced by that. That's where he probably got it from. Del, I missed your gaming stream live, but watched it later and enjoyed it. That's Sandy. When can we have part 2?
I'll try and do some at this weekend.
There you are. There, fresh off the press. There we are. Straight here from the horse's mouth. Nay, lad. There. Right. Tony, my last black and white film was The Sinister Monk. Oh, sounds good. It's a German thriller based on Edgar Wallace's story. I'm working my way through a set of German crime films based on Wallace's work. I know you're all into all that crime stuff. That'll be brilliant, yeah. And Tony, that sounds fun, yeah. Any good, Tony? And then they're a forerunner of giallos. You don't have to take them seriously, though. Produced and mainly filmed in Germany between the late 50s to early 70s, with a bit of filming done in Britain. They're all set in and around London. German actors play Scotland Yard detectives. The English dubbing is quite funny at times. Oh, I say, chaps. Yeah. They're really partly comedy. Not sure if it's intentional, but I'm enjoying. I can imagine, all stereotype British accents. Yeah. And then sounds uniquely intriguing. With regard to Del's mic, it's still fading a bit, not as bad as previously. All right. I've not noticed that, but Tony says there's a series of B films which were produced in Britain from 1960 to 1965, also based on Wallace stories. They're much more serious, though. Very enjoyable, considering the limited budgets. They sound really good, yeah. Talking of Ralph, pronounced Ralph.
Rafe.
Fiennes, what is your favourite film of his?
Strange Days.
Oh, I've got to say Schindler's List. I know
Strange.
it's obvious.
Well, Strange Days is one of those ones where I bought that on Laserdisc.
Yeah.
It's the I'm sure it's the one that I'm thinking of. The one where it's like Brainstorm. They're selling they're selling what the last person that wore
That's
stuff,
right.
like before they died or something, as a sort of a buzz at the turn of the millennium or something.
Yeah.
And that was a great film. I like that. It was
a good film.
The reason it sticks out is because nobody had even thought about where this film came from, and it was a blind one again that I'd bought, on Laserdisc. And this was before it was at the cinema, because I bought it. It had been in America for a while, and I just went, "Wow, what a great film that was!"
Yeah.
And then I was going around telling people, "Oh, you got to see Strange Day."
Yeah, I agree. It's quite long, which is good as well. I think it's that makes it. It goes brilliant. It is a good film. The Kingsman one set at the time of World War One. That's Tony says that. Kingsman. The Grand Budapest Hotel is my favourite Ralph Fiennes performance, but a special shout out to Strange Days, which you did, a very underrated film. Well, there you are.
I think Schindler's List is incredible, but
it is. Yeah,
but you see, I what's captivating about Schindler's List is Ben Kingsley's great, but nobody mentions him.
Yeah,
it's like Liam is the one that everybody talks about because he's in so much of that film. And it's a captivating performance.
Yeah,
it wouldn't be captivating without Rafe.
Rafe. No, definitely not.
Before I start getting Jamie going, can't you get it right once, you bastard, or something?
Yeah.
Right? Yeah, Rafe. It wouldn't be the film without him in it.
Yeah, you're right. Jamie says here, probably In Bruges for me.
In Bruges,
yeah. And then Jamie, Strange Days is excellent. Good shout, Si. Jamie says he's brilliant in both Schindler's List and Conclave too. Oh, Conclave. Yeah, I love Conclave. I love these religious things. That's brilliant, Conclave. Absolutely love that film.
I forgot all about Conclave.
All that church politics kind of thing. Wonderful. He won an Oscar because he should. He has won an Oscar.
Has he won an Oscar?
Have one by now. Yeah, he should have. He should get one definitely. And then Si says he's good in Bruges. It's such a menacing character in it. And Si says he had 2 or 3 nominations. Muckman, I think Schindler's List, Concave, and maybe Grand Budapest.
I was going to say I thought Concave had got a mention.
Yeah,
I do remember that.
Yeah, but no Oscar win, but it got nominated, I think. Yeah. English Patient, yeah. Forgot that. Yeah. Not Grand Budapest Hotel. He's great in that though too. And just check 3 noms: Schindler's List, English Patient, and Conclave. All right, so. How the fuck did Tommy Lee Jones beat Ralph Fiennes performance in Schindler's List? That's an injustice there. Yeah, you tell him. It's right.
Oh, isn't it funny? Tommy Lee Jones is being talked about quite a bit because they're doing a Men in Black, aren't they? And they were saying, I wonder if Tommy Lee Jones will be back in it. And then somebody turned around and said, he's about 82 now, don't you? I bet you any money that the reason Tommy Lee Jones beat Rafe is probably because they didn't know whether he'd be around the next year or not. Because you know what I mean?
That's cynical, isn't it? Yeah,
probably right. Probably right. Yeah, better give you one before you're not around anymore.
Oh, you pop off, yeah. Oh dear. This is Wee Bob Art. Anyway, night time for me. I hope you guys have a great night. And as always, I will watch while I do some sort of DIY on Friday and the weekend. Well, thank you for joining
See
us.
what a great guy Wee Bob is. I've known him for for quite some years. But he's got, you want to see his drawings, mate. I mean, if you haven't been to his channel and seen his drawings, wow.
Great guy. Yeah.
He taught me into buying a graphic program, the Git. You know what I mean? He turned around and said, "Have you got this?" I went, "No." He said, "Oh, you want to go and get it? It's like 60% off." I'm no good at, well, I'm okay at drawing, but I'm not like him. And I went and bought the damn thing. I mean, this is the thing, you see. I get people recommend these things, and I go, right, I'll buy that. Can't do that now anymore, but I did do back then.
Yeah. Right. Jamie says, night, Bob. And then Si says, The Constant Gardener is another good Ralph Fiennes film. Brilliant. And then Tony says, night, Bob. Night, Wee Bob, Si. Forgot to ask, when can we expect Dell's top movies and Ian's top movies of 2025?
Didn't we do that as a live? Didn't we do that as a live stream?
Yeah, I think I did a video of
New Year's Eve. New Year's Eve, wasn't it?
Yeah, I did a video of one. If you look on my channel, it was. I did a video of all that I'd bought myself. I didn't put any, and don't forget there was a lot as has gone on. As I said, I think that I'd not seen. So I probably would have added to that by now. But yeah, I did one because best I could, Yeah,
I know that Jamie, yourself, and I definitely talked about what we considered to be our favourite films in 2025, and then we put some honourable mentions in. Didn't we? And maybe also said what was the worst, and I turned around and said that War of the Worlds. Jesus,
War of the Worlds won by a mile. That won by a mile.
What the hell was that?
Considering that there was Star Trek Sector 31, it shows you how bad War of the Worlds was.
I mean, I swear, right, with that film, that the camera must have been going, why are you pointing my incredibly great lens at this piece of shit? The camera, if it could talk, it would have been saying that. Why are you pointing me at that shit, that crap? Might as well just take a picture of the ducks going along the river.
It also stayed unreleased. Apparently, it was made in COVID. You can see why they didn't rush to release it. It was just absolute terrible. And then Sandy says, "Thank you, Del." And with regard to top 25 films, I'll be doing mine after I've seen a couple of others that still need to see. Oh, great!
Yeah, maybe I ought to do mine.
Yeah, because if you've got them all now,
I think if you don't do it by the end of January, it's worth doing.
Yeah, but in a way, it's true that you can't see everything for that year, and if you can manage to see more that you haven't seen, it can change you discover films. The Chuck one was one I discovered just by looking on YouTube. Somebody did a review. I thought, oh wow, that sounds interesting. There we are.
You saw my bloody box of it.
I
sent you a digital copy of it.
Yeah,
and you
I saw a review of it as well. AJ did a review of it, and I
have to say though, when I showed off the box to you, I actually hadn't even opened it. I said, I don't know. Yeah. I said it was because just like anything, I did say somebody recommended it to me. I'm looking forward to it.
Yeah,
that's how I came across it. It's been recommendation for everybody that's actually even mentioned that film. I think
I love people when they just rip the cellophane off. I think that's one of the great moments.
Yeah.
Instead of fiddling about with a knife and keeping it all on. What a load of crap that is. Just get it all ripped off. Get it out breathing. Just seeing the beauty of it. Special editions should be looked at and enjoyed, not just. Anyhow, there's me going on. And then
no point putting the cellophane off 20 years later and having it smell of farts.
Well, you're right. Yeah, and you'd probably be dead anyhow by then. Everybody might be dead.
Then you put the disc in and you find you got the defected version and you can't get a replacement disc because it was 20 years ago.
Yeah, exactly. You said it all. Or if it's a Warner Brother one, it might have come from that factory where they all went bad, didn't they?
Yeah.
Really bad. So all the best to both of you and everyone in the chat. I've been watching Muckman videos too, and suggest he watches Rental Family if he hasn't already. Also, Night Eats the World if you haven't seen it. Thank you, Wee Bob. I think you've got some more than, and shall put them on my watch list, Bob. And then Wee Bob says, I've seen some samurais on the watch list. Happy to take any other foreign movie suggestions that follow the zombie or isolation premise. I've seen Train to Busan. If that's what it's called. Yeah, I love Train to Busan.
I still haven't seen that film.
Oh, you'd love it. I think it's a great film. I think it's one of the best I've seen. Actually, it's really good. I don't know. It's a train, and of course, that's a big winner for me.
I remember what happened with that.
Yeah,
I think Cy came in and said it was a great film. You the next week said I went on Music Magpie or something, found it, watched it. Thought it was great.
Yeah,
and you didn't bloody tell me that you were getting it, did you?
Yeah, I saw it for it was a 4K.
And then every time I get interested in it or that gets mentioned, and I remember what it's like 20 or 30 quid. So, every time I find something that's cheap, I tell you about it, right? You keep it to yourself and then tell me on Wednesday when it's too late. That's the sort of friend I've got. Cheers. Thanks.
What can I say? But James, because he always sends these things, but every time I look, they're not there. He's probably bought them. Or whatever. It's
the reason why I stopped watching certain channels, because it's like, just to let you know, I got this really, really cheap. And unfortunately, I did check, and they're all sold out. So, isn't it great that I got it? Well, thanks very much. I stopped watching channels like that, Thanks. I mean, here's something that I've got that you haven't. Thanks.
Oh, dear. Sorry, I was laughing. And then, any other movies that even remotely resemble? I think we're Alone Now. Peter Dinklage. I love The Station Agent, as you may know.
Well, apparently they're all slagging him off in that Toxic Avenger or whatever it is.
Right.
Peter Dinklage is in that, and apparently it's.
Sai says, "We Bob watch The Sadness." Yeah, The Sadness has been mentioned a few times. Anyone that's not seen Three Billboards Outside.
Outside, yeah.
County ought to give it a watch. Yeah.
Three Billboards is great. That's several years back.
Was that an Oscar winner? I think.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah. Thanks, Si. Anyhow, definitely away now. All the best to one and all. Well, thank you, as I say, Wee Bob.
See you, Bob, you little shit. Bye.
Bye. And then The Wailing is another fantastic Korean horror. That sounds good. Yeah. Also, Wee Bob, I only recommend One Cut of the Dead. Go into knowing it as little as possible. Don't even read the synopsis or watch a trailer. That's great when you go into it and don't know what's going to happen. Um, can't you get it right once, you bastard?
That's that Rafe.
You.
Rafe, isn't it? Rafe.
You got to stick with it. One cut of the dead. I almost turned it off, but then it kicks in, and it's it's wildly brilliant. That's a great recommendation. Yeah, it just shows you that some films you do have to stick with, but then on the other, you can't. You can tell if a film is so bad that we just know. And then thanks for the stream. Sorry if I missed out, but what movies were your favorite and somehow underrated from 2025?
You know what? I don't know if I've still got them written down.
I've forgotten a lot of my list. Oh, crikey. I'll try and remember a few. Oh, yeah, I know mine. Yeah.
I probably have got it written down somewhere because I wrote them down when we were doing it. Oh, there we are. Look.
There you are. Yeah.
Yeah. Best, I put Companion, Sinners, One Battle After Another, Life of Chuck, Bring Her Back.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, The Long Walk, Weapons.
Yes.
Entertaining, Possible. I put Ballerina, yeah.
Well, John Wick.
Mission Impossible Final Reckoning, yeah. Fantastic Four as entertaining, those.
Yeah.
Worst, Snow White. You remember me saying that?
Yeah.
Star Trek Section 31 and War of the Worlds with Ice Cube.
Yeah, but we mentioned them already, haven't we? How bad they were.
Yeah. And the films I'm looking forward to in 2026, 28 years later, Bone Temple, The Odyssey, Spider-Man Brand New Day, June Part 3.
Yeah, that's it. And more probably to come. There'll be loads more of interesting ones. Let's see. My favorite, I think, Companion. I always talk about Companion. It came out last January, and wow, I just love Companion. There's something that's just really struck me. Underrated. I don't know.
Life of Chuck falls into the underrated because no bugger's heard of it.
Yeah. Thank you. You've helped me out there. Yeah, if I can include Life of Chuck, then yeah, definitely Life of Chuck because nobody had heard of it.
No bugger's heard of it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I said that to Alan, and he turned around and said, "It's not about them Chucky films, is it?" I said, "No, it's not about a doll and all that. Just called The Life of Chuck."
And it's just brilliant. It's an unexpected film. That's what's the brilliance about Life of Chuck. You don't expect it's something that when you first watch it, you're going, wow, this is just taking us in such a great direction.
Yeah.
And it's just a wonderful film. And the thing is, the second time I watched it, I'm thinking, oh, I didn't see that before. It's one of them films where you suddenly see things you hadn't seen the first time watching. I think that makes it a great film. But yeah, I think you say I like Weapons a lot, but it wasn't underrated once people got word of mouth about Weapons. It took off. Though not everybody liked Weapons. There were people who didn't like Weapons, but I think I think that's the one. Life of Chuck was spot on. Yeah, that's what I'm going to say. Totally underrated, but my favorite Companion, absolutely genius. Muckmans, I agree with Ian about opening your special edition physical media. I know some on here that don't open their films. Crazy. It is crazy.
I've still got a lot to open, but it's just purely because when I was opening my steel books, I always turn around and said I won't open them up until I've got one of those plastic cases, from from screen because there's such an investment that I wanted to put them in it so that they didn't get scratched. and I just got behind, and then all of a sudden things just piled up, and I got so far behind, and then my mum fell ill, and it just went on and on and on.
I can understand that,
but you know, I put my hands up and say, you know what, I'm absolutely guilty of it. It's just you know, I will at some point buy just a great big truck of these things and just.
I see it when I've seen unboxings. I can't say they say an unboxing, right? I think, well, if it's an unboxing, you get in there and let's have a good look at the thing. But they're fiddling about with the knives and not.
Oh, that annoys me.
No,
well, the reason that annoys me is that anybody will sort of like tell you that the cellophane that's over these things is supposed to deter people from taking it off the you know, it's to stop people taking the disc out, right? It's not supposed to be a protective coating that will stop it from being scratched. It's like cellophane, right? So what can happen with cellophane is it can degrade, and when light and everything degrade, you know, when you have this stuff like heat and all that sort of stuff, it wrinkles up and it pulls the paint artwork off, pulls the paint off of steel. It'll pull, it will wrinkle up cardboard with the plastic that's attached to it. It will stick to it. It's not supposed to be that type of material. So I go, anybody that's doing that is just
and you can buy protectors if you want to.
Oh, that's the thing.
If people want to do that, you can buy.
But I will say this: I do understand them. I do understand it, and I'm not knocking anybody that does it.
No,
I'm just saying it's a short-term fix. Don't think that that's going to be like that in 4 years' time.
For me personally, I know all my stuff is going to end up in landfill, so I'm thinking to myself, and I'm not preserving it. It's just me enjoying it now while I'm alive. You know, who knows? I might only have 10 years left. I want to enjoy all my stuff. I don't want to be sad. It's not going to have any value to anybody else.
If you ever go to if you ever go on a YouTube channel and put what to do with comic book bags, right? That's a perfect example. Comic book bags, right? You put the comic in a backing board. You put it in a piece of plastic and you close it up, right? They will tell you need to change them every 5 years. Right? Anybody that's got a mind, they'll tell you it needs to be changed every 5 years. Why is that? That's because plastic degrades.
And it'll ruin your comic.
And it will ruin your comic.
Yeah.
Right? So they all wrinkle up and they go yellow and all of this sort of stuff. Right? So all I'm saying is, I totally get the mentality of it, and I would never knock anybody for doing it. But just think of it as being a short time protection. Don't think of it as being long term. I don't want anybody, and I say it because I don't want any of my friends or anybody in the past that I've ever known having their collection ruined. That's all. I worry about people's collections, and I just go, I don't want people to think that that's a good idea. I'm saying it's perfectly okay for about 2 years, I would say, and then I'd start going, I better take that off.
But they can get protectors if they want that. You know,
but they are expensive as well, though. I mean, you buy 10 of them, and they cost you £7.50.
But if you've paid,
I've got 4,000 films.
Yeah, but if you've paid £60 for some special edition, you might.
Well, you got to protect
it. You know, so you would pay £7 or £8 for a protector, wouldn't you?
Anyway, we better get through the comments, haven't we?
Evening, chaps. Welcome, Jim.
Sorry, Jim.
Silence over the last couple of months. Thank you, Jim, for joining us. You may not be here now, but thank you. Hope you are here.
Yeah, I don't know how far back that is.
Yeah. Sandy says, Ian Dell, what's the last thing this year at last that you treated yourself to? I bought a Steam Deck and my hubby bought a 3D printer. Yes, we like our toys. Laugh out. Well, why not?
I'm dead jealous over both of those things, but I haven't treated myself, but over necessity, I had to build a PC, didn't I? So I'd have to turn around and say last year, me doing that was probably the most extravagant, expensive thing I bought for myself, but it was through necessity because my PC was just breaking. It was 13 years old. Had to be done. What was yours?
Well, I am really not really, but I suppose for me a treat. But I mean, my end of year, I'll definitely be treating myself. But the treat that'll come up will probably be it's the Doctor Who's collection. They're a treat for me.
Well, I would say in
Boxes.
2024, I would have thought you'd have said your Kate Bush collection.
Yes, that one. That was a treat. Yeah, because that cost me even then quite a bit of money.
Yeah, you have a look at the price of it. You have a look at the price of it now.
Yeah. Well, how much is it now? Is it extremely expensive?
It's I think it's like 150, 160.
Really? Wow. Wow.
Well, the reason for that is that Wuthering Heights, I think, is celebrating as well an anniversary, and the film's coming out this year. And in that box set, you've got a remix of it with her singing with a. I think there's a. You'll have to tell me. It's on one of the compilations.
The disc, yeah.
And she thought that her vocals on the original were too young, so she's added more depth with her voice that changed. So that it was remixed with her voice from now.
Yeah.
I mean? And apparently that's really difficult as well to download and find. You actually have to have a CD for that.
Oh, I know what a big treat was for me was the X-Files box set. That really was a big
well, I bought the 11 box one.
That big one. It's an absolute treat, that.
But I bought that when it came out.
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I bought it then. It was expensive though, even then.
It was.
It wasn't cheap. Anyhow, let's get on. Del, you need to watch Train to Busan immediately. You've been told, lad.
I know, and I really want to, but some bastard showed it off, and then I couldn't find it.
It's great. It is a great film.
Yeah, his name's Ian. I've forgotten. He had a channel. He had a channel once upon a time.
And then Si says, "Hi, Jim," and then Sandy says, "I saw that last year. Very good, but scary." Yeah. Foreign movie suggestion: Brother of the Wolf. Yeah. No, I've heard that one mentioned. I think, is that some werewolf film? Because there aren't that many werewolf films around. So I've seen that one mentioned. Something I should see. Tony says, I have Brother of the Wolf on 4K. Thanks for reminding me. I need to watch it. Only seen bits on TV, I think, ages ago. Jim says, an excellent film. Muckman Companion is an underrated of 2025. Yes, I love it.
Yeah, it was your suggestion that I got that one, and then I looked around for a steelbook and found one.
Yeah. Oh,
if you remember rightly, and I had to go to Italy, I think, to get it. Also.
Yeah.
Not go to Italy, but
it's had no. Well, it might have now. Has it had a release here now? I think it might have done. I don't know. I just love the film anyhow. Is Brother of the Wolf a French film? And Jim says, yeah, it's a French film, yeah. I know it's set in France, Tony says. Yeah, I enjoyed The Drop from 2025. All right.
The one that's not really mentioned a lot, is it? The Drop.
Yeah. Nutma says, thank you so much for the recommendations. I saw some of those. Love The Sinners especially, and I'll try to see the rest.
Yeah. We were both in total agreement when we talked about Sinners, didn't we?
Yeah, what film? And it's the music as
well.
Music,
yeah.
Music. And then Sandy says, I've got the complete box set of Special Branch this week for only £12. I've never seen it, but it has George Sewell on the cover, and I like him. And that other bloke, who's the other bloke with him?
Wasn't that in the 80s?
Yeah.
Special Branch.
It could even be 70s. It
Was it 70s?
I
Wow.
think it could be. I do.
He always wore check jackets, George
I'm
Sewell.
sure it's before the Sweeney even.
Let's have a look. Special branch. Hang on, I'm going to look it up. Hang on. Special.
I may be wrong.
Special branch TV show.
Who's the other famous one with him in it? It's George.
Yeah, 70s. It's 60s, 69 to 70 and 73 to 74.
Who's it starring besides George Sewell?
Patrick Ma.
That's
Darren Nesbitt, Morris Perry, Roger Rowland, Fulton Mackay. Bloody hell.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I remember watching that. Yeah.
So it went away and then came back 3 years later.
Ah. Yeah.
I remember it briefly, but you see, you got to remember it is a little bit. I would have been too young to recognize it until the late 70s revival. And even then I'd have been not in my teens.
Yeah.
It would have been something I'd have seen. And then you know what repeats were like.
Yeah.
You never really got many of them. They always seemed to put the Sweeney and the Professionals, but that wouldn't have been one that was repeated too much.
No.
But yeah, I remember. I know I've seen it a couple of episodes.
Yeah, I remember it because, of course, I'm older. It was my sort of period.
Oh, by the way, Quincy celebrates its anniversary as well. By the way, Quincy ME.
Yeah.
I love Quint. Don't get me talking about Quincy.
Yeah, no, you mentioned it before. Right. Yeah. Sai says, if Companion was released later on in 2025, Sophie Thatcher would have got some nominations for awards. Yeah. You're right there. Yeah. And then, The Long Walk is my underrated of 2025. I'd like to watch that one.
I had that listed down. That was because of Sai, and I bought the Steel book off of his recommendation for that. Thank you very much, Sai. You shit.
Yeah,
cost me a bloody fortune. Sai's cost me a bloody fortune.
I like the premise. Sounds pretty good. It's a good story. It sounds a really good story. Tony says, I really enjoy Special Branch Sandy. I have the older individual sets from Network. Oh, all right. There were some earlier series from other main characters. George Sewell and Patrick Moore were in the later two series. It's really a forerunner of the Sweeney. Yeah, well, that's it. That's
if I remember rightly, the Patrick Ma was also in Callan, wasn't he?
Oh,
the early ones.
I think he could have been. Yeah, of course, Callan, Edward Woodward. That's going back as well, isn't it?
I've got Callan. I love Callan.
Yeah, that goes back. Doesn't that even go to the 60s?
Yeah, because that's black and white.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And then we've got Nutnas saying, I took notes on those two. Thanks for suggestions, Si. Yeah, this is good. I like this, that people make suggestions and everybody's sort of really...
Well, this is the thing. Unfortunately, there's no check boxes to tell you where the good stuff to write down is. So you have to really write. You have to watch the whole thing again and find out where something is meant.
But it's really good. Really good. And then Si says... I've just seen that there's a new trailer for Masters of the Universe dropping tomorrow. As a child of the late 70s and early 80s, I'm really excited to see it. Oh, right.
Now, that raises an interesting thing before we go, and that is about the trailer aspect of this. Should I watch the trailer, or should I go in blind and just remember it for what it was, and then go in and see this without not seeing one trailer about it? Because trailers are something that I've pretty much stopped watching now. I don't really look at. I don't look for them. Yeah. You can't help it. I mean, when I went to see the Fantastic Four, I couldn't help but see trailers because they're there. But YouTube, I don't look for them anymore.
No,
I want to go in blind. I don't want to know the story. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So that's an interesting subject. I think we ought to bring up at some point, is about trailers.
Yeah, we could do that another week.
Yeah, do that another week.
Yeah. And Tony says 1969 to 1974 special branch.
Yeah, I mentioned it. Look, it says here. Look, it says here.
Yeah.
It was 1969 to 74, but it was 1960 to 70 and then stopped. And then it came back in 73 and went to 74. So it's not really 69 to 74. It's 69 to 70, 73 to 74.
Yeah. And Sandy says, I love Quincy too and wish I had it on DVD, but it's so flipping expensive.
You know, they were complete bastards in this country. They introduced the first and second season together in a box set. Then they brought out season 3 4 years later.
Yeah.
And then stopped. And in America, all of them. I think there's 10 or 11 seasons of Quincy. It went for a long time, Quincy. It was like 8, 9, 10 seasons, something like that, right? You could get them all on Blu-ray over there, the bastard.
Yeah.
Right? Nothing here. Absolutely nothing. I think it's atrocious.
Yeah.
I mean, without Quincy, you wouldn't have House or any of these shows. CSI, you'd have none of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he was a git.
It's a groundbreaking series.
He was a git. He was. Yeah. Or there he was going off in his car, questioning everybody. Left Sam Fujiyama to do all the bloody donkey work. Have you done that blood work for you? Oh, it's all right. I'm just popping off. Just popping off to have a drink with my friend at the boatyard. Now I'm going over here and there. Solves the case. Right, gets all the glory. Poor Sam Fujiyama's there going, hey, what about me? Honestly, I don't know how he got away with it for so many years. It's like, I've got this private slave doing all the work for me back there, so I can go off in the old car and just drive around.
Oh dear. Right, Sai says, I always loved the opening to Quincy where he revealed the dead body from under the covers and Patrick Moore did a BBC series in the mid-70s as a rival to Sweeney.
Target, yes.
Never been commercially released. I've bootlegged DVDs. Katie Manning, Joe Grant, Doctor Who, plays a drug addict in one.
Yeah, Target. I remember Target.
Yeah. So it's never had a release.
I didn't know it never had a release, but I remember Target.
Yeah.
There's a lot of shows that I remember, like like Raffles.
Oh, Raffles. Anthony Valentine.
Yeah, Anthony Valentine.
I remember that, yeah.
It's just things that just crop into your mind. And you go, well, that did get a network release. But what I'm saying is people probably don't remember that. But I do. He was the gentleman thief. He was.
Yeah. I also remember him in Colditz. He was the German, the nasty German.
Anthony Valentine was also in things like Hammer House of Horror, the TV series and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
He showed up in a lot of things.
At one time, he did pop up in a lot of things. I don't know what's happened to him now. Is he still alive?
He was in an episode of Crown Court.
Is he still alive? I don't know. He might not be no longer with us. Yeah. Anyhow, let's have a look. And then Sai says, justice for Sam
Fujiyama,
yeah.
I think that's quite right, really.
Yeah. Why is my Busan trilogy comment getting deleted? Well, I haven't deleted
no idea.
No, I haven't deleted you, Jamie. Yeah. Sorry.
You wouldn't dare.
Unless I skipped it. I don't remember you mentioned Busan. I'm sorry. I don't remember that. Let me just go back up there.
I don't think it. What I think is happening is it's just not showing up.
Yeah. Yeah, anyhow, we ain't got time. We need to get on, don't we? So, and then, sorry, Jamie. Anyhow, well, it says £20.
20 notes.
Yeah. As it. What did you say? He said, was deleted twice. I'm sorry, Jamie. It's not. We
He's telling, so this Train for Busan is a trilogy then, yeah?
Oh.
And you can get it for 20 quid.
Yeah. Wait a minute. Yeah, that's it. Yeah. Telling Delboy trilogy is available for £20. Oh, well, that's not bad.
Well, I need to look that up.
Isn't one animated? I think one could be an animated one. I think the follow-up.
Well, every time I tried to find the train, I think you said it. I think the one you bought was Blu-ray.
I've got a 4K of it. I got
4K. That was it. When I tried looking it up, it was bloody expensive.
Yeah.
That's what I gotta say.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It 4Ks are, some of them have really gone up. Some are about 35 quid now, aren't they? Absolutely ridiculous price. I got it there for a tenner.
There we are. So the cheapest I've seen so far is 20 quid.
Oh, right. I suppose that's
yeah.
Right.
Oh, and then there's Train to Busan presents Peninsula. Something.
Yeah, that's it. That's the one. And I'm sure that's animated. I may be wrong there.
Yeah, Train to Busan trilogy, Seoul Station, Train to something.
Yeah.
I think that's a DVD though. Let me have a
look.
It's on Amazon.
Yeah.
No, that's Blu-ray. That's Blu-ray.
Yeah. Okay, so we've got here Tony saying good night all and thanks. Good night, Tony. Thank you as always.
Good night, Tony. Good night, Si. Good night, Jamie, you bastard. Good night.
Says 99 guys. Great streaming and Delboy. And as usual, a special shout out to Mrs. Dell. Thank you for doing that.
That's nice.
Yeah. And then Jamie says, yes, Soul Station is animated, Ian. And then Night Sigh, I'm going to bed now too. Well, good night, Jamie. Thank you for joining us. And
night, Jim.
And then we've got Jim. Nice night, guys. Great to catch up. Thank you, Jim, for joining.
I keep calling Tony Yorks Tony Hawks now. He was a skateboarder.
Yeah, I know there's some games in the Tony Hawks.
Yeah, Tony Hawks. Rocket Bunny, my mate Rocket Bunny, even though he's a git.
Yeah, and then so Jamie, good night, and Rocket Bunny, good night, chaps. All the best, and have a good week. Night. Oh, thank you, Rocket Bunny. And there it is.
I have to do my rant to all of them, you see, because they've all been good today.
We've got to the end. That's it. Yes, we've got to the end. So yeah, you've had some rants, haven't you?
I only do the rants to the people I love.
I know you do. I think people know that. So let's do our farewells as always.
Oh, it is. Yeah, it's good night from me.
It's good night from him.
Good night. That's what they're supposed to do, aren't they? On the old. I used to love that that newscast. You know, when they did all the news stories. You know, behind the desk, and they interacted with each other.
Yeah, it was.
But my end of everything that I always do is salute as a special for Frankie Howard and Up Pompeii. But salute everyone, salute.
And all I've got to say is, I'll see thee again. Bye.